Have you met your dad?
Yeah, he's a comedy genius.
Comedic timing.
Really?
What's that mean?
Wait, you don't have a laugh track on the soundboard?
I don't think I have a laugh track.
What about
Definitely.
like the badum-tis?
The badum-tis, I've always found it to be like better said than heard. Like badum-tis has like a little bit more of a comedic effect than just like.
That's true. I'll make sure I hit him with that tonight because it's bound to happen at some point.
But like a laugh track from like
what was that?
it's like on A&W or ABC or something like that. Sheldon in it. Just like some of the most egregious uses of the laugh track. That's what you need a clip, Dad.
Got it.
Guardian down.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We appreciate each and every one of you who hang out with us every week. Welcome to episode 131 of Guardian Downcast. We're a couple dads that love all things in the Destiny universe, and we talk about it. We also interview content creators and community members to find out more about them. We're the show that asks, what's the future of gaming look like to you? I'm your host, the Gatr, and my co-host Hazel is here as well. Hey, man, how's your week been this week?
I don't even know. My wife is starting to feel better. Today's like the first day in probably 3 weeks where she's actually like feeling human. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's terrible. So, so she's getting a little better. I'm still on the couch because I'm afraid of catching whatever the hell she's got.
Oh yeah.
And then, Addie's doing great. So so doing our, like our healthy challenge that we're doing.
Uh-huh.
I was at a plateau for like 7 days. So I was like, you know what? Screw this. And I ended up, basically getting like, I walked 10,000 steps and then I, also like lifted weights for the first time in like forever. So Tuesday came and I could barely move. I was like, oh. So Fluffy's like, oh yeah, don't forget yoga. And I was like, I'll try. And I'll be damned if like Wednesday I didn't wake up and I felt like just like a brand new person.
Really?
I was like, oh, well, yeah, because I mean, my muscle soreness was gone. I was like, oh, this is heaven. Oh. So now I'm like, bring on the weights. Let's go.
Last time I tried yoga, it was a VCR tape when I was first married and I couldn't even get into one pose. And I said, nope, eject.
What?
I tried, man. I was not flexible. Man. Yeah, I'm going to have to try it.
Well, that's the reason why you got to do it, man. You got to do it more and more so that way you get more and more flexible.
Yeah, some of these positions, I was like, that isn't happening. I'm not putting my leg there. You know what, though? I saw the link you put in Discord, and I subscribed to her, to this lady you're talking about on YouTube. And, yeah, I'm gonna look into it. Apparently she has like different yoga classes for different situations.
Yeah, it was yoga with Adrian. And then also like my wife has been doing her stuff for a while. And she has a dog that would just randomly walk in front of the camera and stuff like this. And nice. I mean, just sits down in front of it and yawns. It's just, I mean,
nice. You
know, it's just like she just does this in her house and that's about it.
Yeah, just put the camera on. I got you.
Yeah. And then also H and Panda and Fluffy, they mentioned a thing called Move as well. Okay. So I think there's a link in our channel for that too.
Yeah, I think I'd save that video. Yeah.
Yeah. And just in case anybody else is interested, I mean, we're still doing this thing. Again, if you lose more weight than me, either by percent or by pounds, you go into a drawing for a $100 gift card of your choice, of my own money. So that's my motivation to, beat anyone and everyone.
Wow.
So
that's going to be tough, man. That's some tough competition. And there's been a lot of people that have joined in. It's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I was surprised. There's a lot of people who wanted to jump in on the bandwagon and get your $100.
Well, I mean, it's less about that. And I mean, more about rooting people on.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that, I mean, that's the cool thing is just like helping people out and rooting people on and sharing things that like, you know, that we may not even know about. Like yoga with Adrian. I took it for granted that everybody knew, who she was.
Oh, she got like 10 million followers. I mean, she's not small time at all. Yeah. She must be doing something right. He got 10 million followers. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, that's our shameless plug for that. But how was your week, man?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I had tree work done today. They were, at my house bright and early. And, funny thing, I was in my office, piddling around and I talked to the owner and he said, he says, okay, well, I'll clean up. I was walking the property with him. I said, yeah, he says, all right, well, I'll clean up here. They did a great job. I mean, everything, it looked like they had not even been there before. They cleaned up everything so nicely. Blew off the sidewalks. I mean, to a T. Fantastic work. But apparently he went to my video doorbell and rang the doorbell and I must not have seen it. So by the time I got the notice saw the notice on my phone, all the trucks are pulling away. I'm like, uh-oh. So then the owner of the company, the one owner, his wife calls and says, yeah, our guys got done with your, doing all your tree work. And, they said you never came to the door, like accusing me of not wanting to pay him. I'm like, I almost got into it with her. I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I was on the phone with my wife. She heard some good news today and I was talking to her about it. And I must not have seen him at the door. I said, it's no problem, but we set out a check for her and everything's good now. But I was like, man, are you seriously thinking people are going to make you do all this tree work and then not pay you? Have you had customers like that just don't answer the door and they close up their house? I start thinking to myself, I don't think I've ever had a customer do that.
You figure, man. I mean, of course there are people like that.
That's just terrible. I felt bad, but I'm like, don't be accusatory. You don't start off that way. You start off by saying, hey, be lighthearted about it. Cause I've had to approach people like that before, but not because they don't open their damn door, but usually I've had people get on their phone when they know it's time to pay me and just start walking away talking on their phone. I'm like, hello? I need to get paid, but you don't want to be a dick. So you're like, okay, well, you leave the invoice there. Or if it's a customer is not going to ever pay you or is going to wait forever to pay you because they didn't see the invoice or blah, 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 then you just sit there and listen to their conversation and they finally get the idea that you're not leaving without payment. So anyway, I just thought it was weird. Yeah. She came off accusatory right at the front. I was like, that's not, I don't know.
Have you used them before?
The first time using them.
So see, they don't know you.
Yeah, I understand, but still, I mean, you just don't.
I understand your point. I really do.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that you're forgetting is that,
people are dicks.
People get screwed all the time.
God, can you imagine that? They did all that tree work.
Yeah.
Just exactly. No one opened the door. Oh my God. I would have felt terrible. Anyway, enough about me. Anyway. Yeah, it's been a decent week. I mean, we went to dinner tonight. I kid you not. It was 75 degrees. I had shorts on and an Under Armour shirt, like a muscle shirt. We walk into the restaurant. We walk out. It's 15 degrees cooler already. Cold front's moving through as we speak. It's 56 right now. Just crazy, man. I'm sure you guys are getting walloped right now with the cold front, but it was just very weird. It happens within 45 minutes. It was 15 degrees cooler. I thought that was weird.
Wah.
Yeah, I know. I'm complaining too much. Hey,
let me know when it hits 14 degrees. Like
no, it won't ever hit 14 in Florida. No, it hasn't. It has in the past, but it will never hit that. Anyway, let's talk about our guest tonight. He was on our show way back 2 years ago, almost to this day. It was on episode 24 of Guardian Downcast, and he was known back then as Dr. Scoobert Do. But he's now known by his current gamer tag in our Discord as CamtheJellyman, a.k.a. my son Cam. How you been, bud?
Wow, I thought you guys were going to keep on talking about your meals this week. And, I've been cooking rice every morning.
We're already getting roasted, Hazel.
What an intriguing dialogue right here at the start.
He's a connoisseur of podcast. I'm doing good. I mean, I heard about it. We have got so much to talk about tonight. In fact, I was really scatterbrained before I got on tonight because I didn't know what to talk about first. There's so much stuff in the news right now. But here's what we got coming up on tap tonight. First, we're going to catch up with Cam, see what's changed from 2 years ago since we talked to him last. We're also going to test his Twitch reflexes in our new and improved fast fire segment we call, it's a speed run. And it has the newly added questions from our community from last year, so it's enormous now. Hazel's going to have a recap of this week at Bungie, and it's another doozy. We also have some Destiny and gaming talk to get into, especially the news of the Activision Blizzard getting swallowed up by Microsoft. And we're going to answer questions from our community and add 2 songs each to our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist. All right, let's roll. Hey, thanks for listening to Guardian Downcast. You can find us on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast.
Or, you can find us on Instagram at Guardian_Down_cast and see what pics our weekly guests want to share with you.
Or Hazel, just visit our website at GuardianDowncast.com for all the contact information and where else you want to find us. And you can also play any past episodes you like in any order you like, right from your browser.
Don't you or me, man. Anyway, so hey, Guardians, check us out, and later, Guardians.
Toddles.
Hey, that's my line, man.
All right, so Mr. CamtheJellyman, how you been lately? Everything going good? I know we see each other every week, but for our listeners out there, we haven't seen you in 2 years. So, how you been?
I'm doing well. But it's complicated. I'm in like a point of transition in my life from about to maybe step up to the plate for my job to like a big role.
Nice.
Just made some other lifestyle changes, and I'm feeling like I'm coming into everything kind of like from a different perspective now.
Okay.
And I'm doing well. My fiance and my dogs are doing fantastic.
Well, the last time we talked to you, it was 2 years ago. Just to set the scene here, you were, and for people who haven't heard his interview, this was episode 24, January of 2020. And you were currently finishing up college. You were, you had your girlfriend up there, Sharon, and I think you had one dog at the time.
Yep, Opal.
And you were trying to finish up your college career, and you were talking about doing stuff with friends and stuff. So let me first ask you this: as we heard on that episode, you broke your leg pretty badly on your first MMA fight. And how's the rehab going on the leg since then?
So that's what I mean by it's kind of complicated. So while like I feel like I'm in a better place than ever, there are always like these things that are like worsening or not improving. And so one of those things is my leg. I went to PT for like 3 months or so. And I started going to the gym with you a bunch.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I like it.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun. And this like the only time in my life where I've consistently gone to a gym other than an MMA gym. And so I'm like actually like kind of putting on muscle and for like the first time really, which is a really cool experience. And so like going along with that, my leg feels really strong. But it's just kind of like misaligned from the initial surgery, which is something that I've kind of come to realize over time. And then that's kind of like shifted my gait a little bit. So like my hips, hiked up a little bit. And so that's kind of what I'm working on now, is trying to kind of get that balanced out, engage my core a lot more, because I'm really bad about not engaging my core.
Right.
And then, I'd say my legs, like, I'll tell you, I went to jiu-jitsu for the first time in like 4 or 5 months, last night, and that went really well. So
good.
By those standards, it's doing pretty decent. But there was a period like 5 months ago where I thought I snapped my leg in half, like my fibula. So that was not fun to kind of go through that process again.
Well, you had moved down here and you were trying a brand new gym, all brand new people. You didn't know them. And, you know, the thing about sparring is when people haven't sparred with you before, they don't know how far to take it sometimes. And I think you probably had someone who thought they could be a little tougher on you and maybe re-aggravated your injury a little bit. But I tell you what, I'm loving going and working out. And you're the one who approached me on this, by the way. You said, Dad, it's time. I know you need to lose weight. I need to get stronger. We're doing this. We're going up and we're going to sign up at this gym up the street. It's one of the 24-hour gyms, one of the big gyms up there. And I got to admit, it's been really nice knowing that we have each other to be accountable to. And now my trainers, I've done my 2 months of training with a professional trainer, and now we're on our own. You know, we're showing up twice a week, and we're working different, you know, body parts and muscle groups and stuff, and it's been pretty fun. I really look forward to it every week. So,
oh yeah, we're getting some variety in. He's hitting pads every now and then.
Yeah.
Hazel, I gotta ask, like, have you ever hit a bag or anything? Have you ever like gone to like kickboxing or like karate or taekwondo as a kid?
Yeah,
Anything
we actually
like
have a question about that actually.
Yeah,
that I was going to ask about. So yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and ask that question now and get it out of the way if you want.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, it was from Running Red Line, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. See, ladies and germs, I do my own research. Do you see that?
Wow.
Yeah. Behold, this is what it's like to be prepared, Gatr. So his question is, it's a 3-parter. And you can answer this too. So it's, what inspired you to get into martial arts? Where has it taken you so far? We kind of know your answer there, unfortunately. But then, what arts have you studied, and what are some cool things you've learned, and what's the biggest benefit it had in your life? So we can take that piecemeal. So what inspired you to get into MMA?
So it's kind of like a roundabout, kind of like arbitrary, like dragging it on way too long, kind of thing. So when I was like growing up all throughout high school, never played any sports really, never watched any sports. I thought every sport was so dumb compared to like watching someone play video games, or playing video games myself. And so, there's a period where right after I moved up to Minnesota for my sophomore year of college, I was in the apartment that my roommate and I had moved into. And, I think I was there for like a week or so right before school started, and he was coming later in the week. And I think on Snapchat or something, I saw Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor. And I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. I like watched some clips of it. I was like, that's intriguing. I got nothing else going on. I might as well give something new a try. And so I acquired the pay-per-view, the day after, from the ether. Nothing sketchy or anything. Just,
yeah, completely.
Yeah. Boom. There it is. And, I watched that. It's like a 7-hour event. I watched that thing entirely through, like glued to the screen the whole time. And, immediately after that, I got UFC Fight Pass, which was like advertised a little bit during the pay-per-view. It's like the UFC's in-house, like video catalog, like library. They have like all these different promotions, all these different fights. And, I think like a lot of people, I think McGregor is like the big person that we like kind of came to know as like the face of MMA. If you follow it, even if you don't, I think Conor's probably the most popular. So I went through and watched all of his fights. I think one of his first fights in the UFC, like maybe his second or third, was against Max Holloway. And I thought that was a really good fight. And he gave Conor a really like tough match. And so then I went through his catalog and watched all of his fights and just went deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. I think like probably for like 4 or 5 days straight, I was watching maybe like 14 hours of fights. While I was like playing RuneScape on the side or something like that.
Yeah, see where he gets it, where he gets my tendencies, Hazel?
There's some tendencies. There's some overlapping for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Genetics or something. I don't know.
That's a thing.
I think that's what they call it. So I watched that and I was like, man, I'm completely enamored with this sport. Since then, I had watched every single event that like happened. And I got really, really into it. And previously in high school, I had done robotics, debate, and marching band, which, you know, I don't think the natural progression is cage fighting, but that's kind of the route I went. It took me like a year to build up the courage to get into the gym. But as soon as I went in there, and I was getting smashed the first day, it was not fun at all. But it was really fun. I had that was like the first time really in my life, other than like wrestling with my cousin or with friends or something like that, where I was like having a fantastic time and, I guess like grappling with people and like pushing it around, being physical for once. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that kind of really appealed to me was how unique it is, especially MMA. Like in boxing, you can have these different styles. But ultimately it's boxing. With MMA, where you have 8 limbs to strike from, and it's just such a fluid and dynamic sport, everyone comes in with a different skill set, different approach, like different philosophy, different game plan. And that's something that really intrigued me and drew me to it. And so while I was watching all those fights for like the year or so before I went into the gym, I kind of figured out like, it's like general heuristics, like what would be best? Like what's like, I guess forming the meta in my mind, like what would be an ideal skill set or game plan?
Of course.
And I just went into the gym, really started working on defense first. Cause I don't think anyone likes getting hit in the head. It's really not that bad. At least for me, but, it's something that you want to avoid. I think starting from like a defensive base for anyone intrigued in martial arts, learning how to move your feet and move your head and, like getting reactions and not like turning away from strikes. It's going to be the most important skill when it comes to like a realistic scenario, whether that's sparring or like self-defense.
What second part of his question was, what arts have you studied? What's your specialty now?
Yeah,
I was going to say
that you were building to.
Yeah. So I had 2 games really. And like every time I would go in, like I went in religiously. Like I went in every single day, of the week up until COVID hit. And then it was a lot more limited and I'd be the only one in the gym. But, coming into my first fight, I had dog shit boxing. I had good defense, I had good jiu-jitsu, I had terrible wrestling, and I had good kicks. That was like my whole game really. And in hindsight, I kind of just got really excited and just kind of dived in, which I think I'm really prone to doing for a lot of things. Like really going hard, like pretty soon into it. I kind of burn out on a lot of things, but MMA really, really kept me engaged. So for different martial arts, different skill sets, jiu-jitsu was like my foundation. I was really drawn to jiu-jitsu. I've always been like flexible. And I've always done no-gi as well. So without the kind of, pajamas on. That was like kind of my, base of my game. I was always on the back, and I would go for like triangles, like go-go platas. I would do rubber guard a lot when I was really like starting off, which is like bringing your shin, pretty much like up to your chin and like kind of clamping the person down and breaking their posture with your leg. Like if you know Eddie Bravo, he like originated it, while he's like high off his balls. Probably.
Was it, when you say jiu-jitsu, do you mean like Brazilian jiu-jitsu or was it just standard?
So that's kind of, where the question kind of, it gets a little muddy with MMA is like wrestling ties into jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is similar to like catch wrestling. You have all these different forms of grappling all around the world, and they all kind of do similar things, or they have similar principles, other than like maybe like Sistema or like Krav Maga or anything that like wants to rip people's eyes out and goes for like the lethal attacks. But things focused on control all have like, I think even the Greeks back then kind of figured out the basics for like form and function of the human body and how to like pin someone, how to control someone. And so like over time, especially with conflict, like even in medieval times, a lot of the times you would try to get someone down or knock someone down and then finish them, on the ground. Like especially in Japan and, the East, a lot of it's about like trips, takedowns, and then like executions essentially. So I would say now, wrestling and jiu-jitsu is in like, it all kind of just blends together. I'd say nowadays my game for the ground is, kind of just like crawling on top of people, being really slippery, trying to constantly move out of positions, staying pretty tight. So I'm not like getting my arm caught, out of position or anything. And I think like something that you kind of figure out over time is a lot of things in wrestling and grappling are really about who wants it more and who's going to like have that dogged willpower to just keep going and keep going and keep going until they get the takedown. Like a lot of it is really just a battle of wills. And especially like when people get tired. And so moving around a lot and like scrambling a lot and being the one that engages in those scrambles and makes them happen, I think is something that is, like quintessential to grappling. Really, really effective methods. So getting on top, really slidey, like really slippery. Really like to get into mount or side control and just switch from the two until I find like a mounted triangle or an arm bar, something like that.
Who's your favorite fighter right now, Cam? I think I know who you're going to say, but just curious.
You know, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. I got a lot of favorite fighters.
Who's the one that's most similar to your style?
Most similar to my style.
What's that?
That's definitely a different question. I'd say probably one of my favorite fighters. I'd say I got a few. So Randy Brown is, I think he's ranked, but he's kind of like in the middle rankings of welterweight at 170. Super lethal boxing, really good, really solid kicks, and just like really sneaky, slick jiu-jitsu. I really like that game. He is boxing leagues better than me when it comes to like how my game kind of stacks up. Another one would probably be, I mean, like everyone loves Justin Gaethje, everyone loves Max Holloway. Both of those guys are just violence incarnate.
There's a certain redhead you like.
Just tell him.
Who are you talking about?
He's very much shaped the same way Cam is. He has the same fighting style, but he was just in some fights a few months ago.
Oh, Corey Sandhagen?
Yes, Sandhagen.
Okay, yeah. Corey Sandhagen's awesome. Corey Sandhagen's a lot more, he is some extraordinary athleticism. And I think his approach to MMA and combat is special. I think he's a fantastic fighter.
See,
he's really fluid. Like anywhere the fight goes, he has something. He never stops fighting. Yeah. Corey Sandhagen's probably my favorite.
he reminds me of you because he's, his style to me is he's a sniper. He's the one that'll slip those punches in, those jabs, and get you while you're not thinking right. And he's very, very sneaky. He's very cunning when he fights. I used to never watch MMA. My son has totally got me in MMA now. I'm an old boxing guy. I used to love watching boxing back when Mike Tyson and all those fought. Mm-hmm. And I'm really loving MMA because he's explaining to me what's going on as I'm watching the fights with him. And it really is like a chess game. It's all about countering things the other people are trying to do to you. Like if they're trying to get you in a certain kind of armbar or something, there's things you have to do to prevent that from getting into that position, just like in chess. So I don't know. He's sucked me in. I love watching fight. I don't want to do it, but I love watching it. And he's teaching me how to punch correctly and not kill my shoulder and my hands. And I'm like
that's important stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is. And movement and stuff. And we sparred, we took video of it. It was comical. I looked like a big gorilla and he just barely used any energy. It was just jabbing me whenever he wanted to. But
for standing, I really like using the jab and feints to, low kicks. I really try to go in and out a lot. So like I'll jab out and then I'll like jab and then crash in. And get into clinch positions. I really like getting people up against the wall or the fence and driving knees into their guts. That's my favorite thing. And then kicking that calf too. That feels so good.
That's so painful every time I even see it done.
So I'd say that's my general, like standing game for takedowns, single legs mostly, double legs if I find the opportunity for them. If I'm against the wall, sometimes sacrifice throws, people don't really expect them because they're high risk, but they are high reward as well, especially if you have good form. And then on the ground, triangles, go-go platas, mounted triangles, a lot of mount control. I really prioritize getting into mount and just staying in mount and just like cooking those guys. I'm going to warn you guys. I can drone on forever.
That's why I was trying to push the question along.
What's that third question?
I was going to say real quick here. I mean, what about you, Gatr? Have you done any martial arts when you were growing up? I did. Like that before I answer. That's my segue into saying that I have an answer too.
I did a little bit of Krav Maga with my wife, but I've really never been a fighter. My dad taught me not to fight. He told me how to avoid fights and how to be the bigger person and not fight and use my hands. So it was really, when my son got into jujitsu and MMA, it was a shock to me because what happened to my small little boy,
my sweet little boy,
my sweet little boy who was a video game nerd, you know? I mean, what happened to him? He comes home.
He's not here anymore.
The first thing he did when I first met him at the airport when he was visiting for Christmas, he did a roundhouse kick, just showing off, and just missed my face. I'm like, what the hell was that?
You got to establish dominance as soon as you reintroduce yourself to the environment.
I got you. I see. I'm still your dad, though. But
you're out of the will.
He knows the truth. He knows the truth.
Yeah. He could kick my ass.
You're out of the will. It's okay.
He has all the defense. He's learned so much. He's been such a student of this game that he's blown way past me as far as any kind of fighting skills. So, yeah. What about you, Hazel? You said you had an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. So my start to doing martial arts was basically because of boredom, and I had friends that were really into it. So, my friends, now this is not my point of view, but it's been my tainted point of view. That's been thrust upon me by everyone. And so one of my friends that I grew up with, he was into Pinchak Salat and Kali, which are basically like kind of like Krav Maga and Sistema, where they're basically like, you know,
Kali uses weapons and stuff.
Yeah, Kali sticks, yeah. And it's more so that it wants to end the fight quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's very violent and everything else. So he was like telling me about this, and I'm like, wow, that sounds really awesome and everything else. And he's just like, yeah, it is. So at the time, I was going to go into actually doing Taekwondo. And he basically just completely poo-pooed on that. He's like, no, he's like, you aren't going into that. He's like, I refuse to have a friend who's going to go into that. He's like, if you want to go into a martial art, do something that's going to actually help you. And I mean, he had really strong opinions about Taekwondo at the time. So I got into Pencak Silat, which is just, I mean, there's nothing like the confidence that it gives you to know that like you can pretty much end a fight pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
And it's all practical. That's the thing that I liked about Silat.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's pretty violent.
Oh, it's Pencak Silat?
Pencak, yeah.
Pencak. Okay. Is that from
Indonesia? I want to say the Philippines.
Philippines, yep. Philippines.
Yeah, it's very, I mean, it's one of those things like we're talking about trying to get my daughter into like some type of martial art. Mm-hmm. And my wife's first opinion was, she's like, Taekwondo. And I'm like, oh, no. I was like, no, let's not do that. I mean, it has some good things in it. Yes. But I was like, I don't want her to do some flying roundhouse kick at somebody who's trying to, rape her or something. I want her to actually go like, no, fuck you. And,
now you're
break
dead.
them. Yeah. Break them. Yeah. She didn't have to kill them.
Thanks, Hazel.
I mean, she just
no. You just, you simulate their death. Yeah.
Yeah. We just lost all our Taekwondo listeners.
So Taekwondo has a lot of very good things to it.
It does.
Movement and kicks, really important. But just like all of these martial arts, they're all additive. And it's really just like a conceptual journey that people go on as they build these skills up in various skill sets, and they can all bring them together. And it's their own, like it's a very personal journey, I think, for most people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have some friends and they were in Taekwondo, and it's exactly like you said. They've used it as sort of like a gateway drug into other ones where now they're doing like Jeet Kune Do and things like that. So
yeah, back when I was both y'all's age, it wasn't really big yet. It hadn't become really great, In the 70s, karate was in the movies. It wasn't as big as it is now.
You didn't want to be like Chuck Norris?
Oh, I definitely loved to be like Chuck Norris. I wanted to kick ass. But there was no place down the street I could just go down and start learning it. I think maybe if you went downtown, you could find a nice, place to train and stuff. But now there's MMA gyms like on every 5 miles there's an MMA gym. We were scouting around when he was about to move down here, what MMA gyms he wanted to try out. And there was a lot. There was a handful. But I agree. It's a journey. And I think that's what I love about MMA is everyone has their own little like deck of cards. They have their own, they have their own fighting styles. They have their own little quirks about them. And that's what I love about watching it, because Cam will tell me, oh, this guy does this and he does this. And I even like watching the heavyweights where they're just big guys brawling. And some of them, man, when they hit you with a kick, you're just going to be down. They're like tree trunks coming at you. But the last part of the question I want to make sure you were able to answer, Cam, was what was the biggest benefit it's had in your life? I want to make sure he got that answered.
Yeah. And so this is probably like the one that deserves the longest answer, but I think that this has been like a 14-minute answer from me.
It has.
So
I am watching the clock.
That is true. So I would say when I was in college, I almost had a philosophy minor. But I think there's one last course, and breaking my leg just kind of like threw everything off for the last year, and then COVID happened the year right after that. So it was kind of jacked everything up, but I was one class away from getting a philosophy minor. It was something that thinking deeply and like thinking with logic and like a process is something that I really value. And it's something that I think like my best self does regularly. It's something that I've really tried to kind of reincorporate in the last like couple of weeks or so since making some other changes. Kind of like the philosophy of the journey and growth and like having a growth mindset as opposed to like going and smashing these goals, burning out, not coming back for a week, going back in the next week. I go in 3 times a week, then I go in 2 times the next week, and then, I'm not really feeling like it this week. The thing that it really taught me, and this is something I've struggled with my entire life, is consistency. And this was like the only thing that had ever really engaged me. And no matter what, it made me want to push myself to go every single day and get as many practice hours in as possible, just so I can maintain and maybe grow like maybe 1% better each day. I think that mindset, especially after breaking my leg, I think that was a really big part of that, was taking it day by day and knowing that this is going to be a process. It's going to be something that it's clearly going to be difficult and it's going to suck ass. But you just got to take it day by day and you got to put the work in. And yeah. And so going back to like the engagement thing, PT does not really engage me. And so I have fallen off of PT multiple times. And at this point, I'm trying the knee over toes guy kind of like program. So hopefully that helps me out a little bit. Summary real quick. The journey, kind of like the growth mindset. And then like Hazel was saying, the confidence that you can take care of yourself and your loved ones.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's switch gears.
Yeah,
I think we're
Don't get away from MMA. Get away from MMA.
I know you can. I know you're
I'm a chatterbox.
You're very passionate about it. I know, but
that's awesome to hear. You can hear that too.
You can hear it. You can hear. That's where his interest, his ears perk up as soon as you say MMA. You listen to a lot of podcasts. What is it about podcasting you like so much, Cam?
I've fallen off podcasts a lot, actually.
Have you really?
Big time. I don't even really watch my old MMA podcasts anymore. But I'll answer this question in as good faith as possible. What I really enjoy about podcasts is kind of like the episodic nature of it, and that it's intimate, usually with like a few people on the podcast. And so it really allows for like a deep exploration of ideas. It really allows for different perspectives to be heard and a bunch of different topics. And then with the kind of episodic nature that goes hand in hand, and that kind of parasocial relationship, which is a pretty hot buzzword. That parasocial relationship that you have with between the listeners and the podcast hosts, that also grows over time, and that connection grows stronger and stronger. And you kind of like learn these guys' personalities and like what they find funny, like what they kind of bring to the show. I think that's a real strength of podcasts.
Yeah, it's definitely intimate. I mean, it makes it really nice where you can talk in Mr. Fudd's ear like this and say, "Hey, Mr. Fudd, it's 57 degrees and clear out tonight. What's your weather like, buddy?" As an aside.
You just dabbing on him like that?
As an aside. I always dab on him.
He's trying to dab on him?
Every week I do. He loves it.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. As much as I do. Yeah. Yeah. 14 degrees. Wait. No, sorry. Correction. 13 degrees. Yeah.
I got my fill when it was like negative 30 in Bungie.
It's not directed at you at all.
Pass on that.
Yeah, no, you know what winter is.
No, that heat's coming at me, Cam. Don't worry. That heat's coming my way.
It's not something that I really miss that much.
Really?
But Dad, you need to feel the cold sometimes.
Oh,
I think you're afraid of it. I think you're afraid of what it brings to the table.
Soft.
I was in DC in 30-degree weather with 20 to 25 hour winds. I could not stop
man.
shivering. I could not get warm. I hate that feeling.
Pro tip to all the people up in Minnesota and all the cold places. Look up Wim Hof breathing. It'll help you stay warm when you're outside and having to walk home from school in negative 25-degree weather.
I'm sure Fluffy knows all about that. This man works out. He bikes and jogs in ice up in Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
That is.
Salute to you, Minnesota man.
He's different than Florida man for sure.
Minus the bastards.
Hey, add a little Minnesota man, add a little Florida man, you got Jellyman. So, here we go.
There's a soundbite. I'm keeping that one.
All right. So, Cam, question for you. So, why gaming? What is it about gaming that drew you to it?
So this is another little complicated subject. Why gaming? I think because it gave me a lot of dopamine, and I like that feeling. But it also has it kind of sucks you into a hole where games are your focus. Games are what you do to turn off. Games are what you do to have fun. You can play it on your little phone when you're taking a shit while you're in bed, anything like that. Everything's gamified now, and everyone loves games. Me personally, playing games nowadays, and I'm sure a lot of other people experience this. It doesn't necessarily bring a lot of joy. It's kind of like an activity that you default to. And, you can have all these good intentions, like, I'm going to read a book. I'm going to do some art. I'm going to go for a walk or something like that. And all those things are great. But then you're like, what feels good? What do I always do? And you go back to games. That's something that I've kind of found for myself, especially, so I've kind of, been dealing with like navigating around ADHD symptoms. And so this may just be like how I feel, but I think this is something that a lot of people feel where they get burnt out over time, and, they just keep going back because it's what they do. And it's kind of like it's like a pattern. It's like a habit. Why gaming? Because the dopamine.
Just straight to the point.
I can understand that. We
all get that. Trust me.
Yeah. I mean, you've got, 30 minutes to kill. You don't have anything else to do. What can give you that little bit of, enjoyment, excitement, whatever it is right there.
Focus is bliss. And I think games do a really good job of making you focus on them. And, whether or not
too good of a job.
Exactly. And whether or not that's a good thing or not, I think that does provide relief to a lot of people. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a pattern that I've kind of recognized for myself, and I guess for a few friends of mine as well. Oh, what games am I playing at the moment? That kind of, why am I gaming? What am I gaming if I am gaming? There's a few. I can tell you one of them is not Destiny 2.
We'll talk about that later. Why that is.
Yeah. I got a few that, and so this is like the story of my life with games. I'll hit one really hard for like a week, and then it'll just never play it again. Or I'll play it like 2 years later when I have the the spirit comes to me. So Binding of Isaac was like that for a little bit. I have 241 hours in that. That's like a roguelike. Tons of unlocks, a lot of progression. Really like that. Same thing with Dead Cells. Hit it hard for a little bit and then just kind of faded out. Some like games like Raft with some friends. That's pretty fun. Kind of like a survival game where you're on a raft and a shark's trying to eat your raft and you have to get all these resources and survive. Hades, same kind of thing.
Yep.
Played a ton of Hades. And this might be something that I just kind of have an issue with, or something that like kind of causes this disengagement. Is I play a lot of roguelikes, which has a lot of looping gameplay. And I think a lot of roguelites do, like especially Hades, do a really good job of adding that variation, and even Destiny to a degree. But I think like kind of that gameplay loop is probably like why I get tired of these games pretty quickly, because a lot of them are similar. Games that I get really, really deep into would be something like Factorio, Satisfactory, gonna play Dyson Sphere Program soon. All that kind of stuff.
What are those games? What are those games about?
Those are kind of like, so,
are they like puzzle games, or what are they unlocking a puzzle?
Kind of. Okay. It's more so like you are built for Factorio, for example. That's kind of like the progenitor. Factorio, you're building a factory and you're trying to advance down a tech tree. And so you're trying to automate everything so you can up production, so you can make the next thing, so you can make that thing into the next thing, into the next thing, which all comes together. And then you need that part, and you need that part, and you need that part, and you have to distribute them all properly to these same machines. And you have to get this belt going there. You have to get this belt going there. You have to distribute your resources wisely. You have to manage them the entire time. You got to build up all these different buildings. You got to defend your base. You got to build out, and you got to collect more resources when you run out. And then you got to transport those all the way back to your base. You got to make sure that you integrate them into the supply chain. Oh man, it's a lot of stuff. It is a lot of stuff.
I'm tired just hearing the explanation.
Those games can be like, you can just dive down a rabbit hole with them. And sometimes they're like mentally exhausting to play. But I think like having to use my brain, is something that like kind of engages me with them. So
yeah.
That like it really makes me kind of just like sit there and just make the gears turn. Especially like Satisfactory, which is just it's like kind of a simplified, it's kind of simplified version of Factorio in third person. It looks really good. That one also really kept my interest for a long time. The same kind of thing. You're that kind of iteration upon iteration upon iteration to improve efficiency, and then implement all these different chains to make a new product, which you use to get to the next tier tree or next tech tree. It's that same kind of gameplay loop where like after a while it'll just kind of wear on me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's funny you say that about bounties, because just so you know, there is more to the game than bounties. You don't have to play the way your dad does.
Oh no,
I didn't tell him to get bounties.
I played like quests and stuff as well. I think Destiny does a great job with that. It's just not what
well, it's not what you're into.
It doesn't really engage me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about later why that is, but
well, I think part of it is that, I mean, like it seems to me that he plays games to be engaged.
Yeah.
And I think Destiny is that game where basically you don't have to be engaged to play it.
Right. That's the reason why I love to play, is because I'm too engaged during the day on my job, and I want to be able to not have to engage too hard and not keep busy. That sounds simplistic, but you have a beautiful story, a beautiful environment. I mean, it's eye candy. Let's get that clear. And the bounties are just means to an end for me. And you get, like
bounties
I said,
are just something it's something that you can lightly focus on.
Yeah, it's that dopamine.
Keeps you busy.
Yeah, it's that dopamine hit. Completed.
I definitely have some games that I like to like kind of sit back and relax on and kind of disengage and take it easy. Like Teamfight Tactics.
Risk of Rain 2?
Like Potion. No. Risk of Rain 2. So this is what I'm talking about. Destiny, I feel in a lot of these games, I feel like I want to relax with them, and that's why I'm playing them. But having to focus on like aiming, moving the mouse, moving precisely, all this kind of stuff, it's not very relaxing. Even if I want it to be. And so with Destiny, I just kind of get in there and I'm like, what's my goal? Shoot people in the head, kill this boss. You know, I really like the movement though in Destiny. I think the movement, it feels very nice.
Yeah, it's very smooth and very nice to the eye. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about the new player experience later on, but I think this kind of explains what your job's all about. Can you explain what you do exactly? Because I still don't know what you do exactly.
And so it's complicated. I manage a CRM. It's a Zoho CRM.
Wait a minute. Let's dumb it down for Dad. What's a CRM?
Customer Relations Manager.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. And so this essentially keeps the records of all your customers, like accounts, businesses, different affiliates, all that kind of stuff. You keep all those records in a CRM, and it's essentially like a user-friendly way to interact with this data, in these records. And it's like I send out a ton of emails every day, like do some marketing blasts. Essentially what we do, connected investors, you can go there for funding. And instead of being a direct lender, we talk to all these lenders and we get their preferences of like what kind of loans they're looking to give out and what kind of, I guess like structures they prefer. And we refer people to them. And so like someone can come to us and ask for like a fix and flip loan, and they'll give us an application and we'll match them with like 5 or 6 lenders. And then they can choose which lender they want to do business with, or they can interact with multiple of them. So I kind of run the back end for that, and some other systems as well.
And there's kind of rumors that you're going to be promoted, maybe?
Maybe it's possible, down the line. It's possible. I do a lot of stuff on the back end, but I have some fantastic coworkers, and I think I'll be okay if I move up. But it is definitely something that's a little intimidating, and I'm only 24 years old, and so like kind of being in a higher up position that I haven't been in, like another, I guess, tier of job it's something that makes me a little anxious, but I think I have the competence to definitely keep up and do a good job. So just got to kind of incorporate that competence and turn it into confidence. So.
Right. Okay. And
I'm feeling good about. I really like the job.
And you like make programs and stuff too, right? From what I heard.
So that's something that I'm getting into now. So kind of getting into the code base for Zoho, which is called Deluge. I'm kind of trying to learn that code base just so I can set up some custom functions for the CRM.
Okay.
And really make some meaningful changes and improve the idea behind like computer information systems and IT in general is to turn like data into information into knowledge, and then use that knowledge to make business decisions. And I think the creativity that they kind of allow me really helps me kind of engage with that core issue from a bunch of different ways and bunch of different angles, and something I really appreciate that they kind of give me the room to do that.
That's good. Well, awesome. Okay, now I kind of understand. Even though you've told me this about 5 times, it's still trying to sink in what you do. But Hazel, do you have anything else you wanted to mention?
I'm just listening. I mean, that's
it's a lot of information.
Well, I mean, there's a question that I want to ask, but I'm trying to decide if I want to ask it now or if I want to ask it like during our like.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna hold on to
it. Fair enough. Okay. Well, hey, let's do this. Let's put them through the strides of the speed run. What do you think?
Yeah.
Let's see how this works out. Hey, Cam, thanks by the way, buddy.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll do that right after this.
Call the Praxic Order. Call the Thanatonauts, the Jinsen Scribes. Call everyone so they can witness you.
All right, boys and girls, it's that time of the week. This segment is called the Speed Run. This is where we have a database of over 385 randomly asked questions. Still comes across as random ass questions. I give up. And Cam,
They are random ass questions.
They are random ass questions. And Cam here is going to have 90 seconds to answer as many as he can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers. And at the end of the year, the guest with the most answer will win a prize and title of 2022 Speedrun Champion. The questions are randomly asked, so no one can memorize the order, and just answer what quickly comes to mind. Tonight, I'm going to ask the questions randomly from the list. Hazel is going to be the timekeeper and quality control expert. In the event of a questionable answer, Hazel's decision will be final. Sharp Valor is our current leader so far with 33 questions answered. So, you ready to do this, Cam?
Sure.
Okay. Ready, Hazel? Clock ready?
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Warlock, Titan, or Hunter?
Hunter.
What was your first video game?
Medieval.
Void, Solar, Arc, or Stasis?
Void.
What's the latest you've been up gaming?
Factorio.
Favorite
Oh,
donut?
sorry. Latest time? 7 a.m.
Favorite donut?
I'll take that filled custard donut.
M&M's or Skittles?
Skittles.
Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit?
Strikes.
What's your beverage?
Wait, I take that Crucible. It's the only engaging part of Destiny. Go.
What is your favorite? You got me all flustered. What's your beverage of choice?
Water.
Story or no story?
I don't even know what that means. Story.
If you could choose, who would voice your ghost?
Me? Who are you talking about? Next one.
Human, Awoken, or Exo?
Human?
What's the best sandwich?
Grilled cheese.
Teddy bear or Blanky?
Blanky.
What's your favorite book?
Name of the Wind.
What's your favorite Destiny planet?
Earth.
Beard,
Shattered moon, something like that. I don't know.
beard or clean shaven?
Beard.
Mario or Sonic?
Mario.
Jam or jelly?
Jam.
Mustard, Heinz or French brand?
Wait, did I just say jam to jelly?
Yeah, you did.
Oh man, jelly.
You did.
Take that.
No,
take that
it's
jelly.
too late. Mustard
no.
brands. Mustard brands, Heinz or French's?
French's.
Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Icoricade or Zavala?
Zavala.
Room, dirty or clean?
Dirty.
What number am I thinking of?
17.
Playing cards or board games? Playing cards or board games?
Good.
Board games.
Yeah, I totally flustered this one.
You
had a time? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that. Don't worry.
Okay, you'll adjust for me. Okay, good to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay, respectable. A lot better than your last time you were on here. Well, how well did you do this time around, Hazel?
24.
Nice job. I think you had 10. You had 10 last year or 2 years ago. 10. I don't think you realized it was quick. I think you were really thinking of the questions. But
even this one, I had to go back and make some redactions.
No, you did. I
wish
noticed.
more people would do that.
That would be awesome.
Random ass stuff.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Well, all right, good deal. Well, thanks for playing, Cam. It was fun.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm always curious what people say to those questions. Hey, listeners,
wait. What's your favorite question?
What's my favorite question?
Yeah, what's your favorite question on the fast questions?
What's the best sandwich? I always get different answers.
What's the best sandwich?
Grilled cheese.
Ooh.
Grilled cheese? Oh, so now you're just like looking over right at my tuss.
No, I'm not.
Lies.
Because it's grilled cheese.
Lies.
With
That
jam.
It's not.
Grilled cheese with jelly on top.
Oh man, now you're just digging yourself a hole here. What's going on?
You're sucking up to Elmer Fudd, man.
No, I'm not. Maybe.
Yes, you are. Did he bribe you?
No, he asked me to try it one time, and man, it was good. It was. I got to admit, man, it was really good. It probably wasn't healthy, but it was really good.
I've done it too, and it was good. Yeah,
it was good.
But you're wrong. That's not the best sandwich.
What's the best sandwich?
I'm going to tell you what the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Hazel. I got the new meta sandwich.
What?
It's the Reuben.
Reuben. We get that answer a lot. Reuben's good.
Yeah. I think that's the only sandwich a lot of people know, right?
I'm not a fan of corned beef.
Never had a Reuben.
I'm not a fan of corned beef.
Sauerkraut is fantastic.
Yeah, sauerkraut's good. I'll admit. Cam, what's the meta sandwich?
Yep.
Go ahead and play that one soundbite where the guy's like, "Should I take a gummy?"
Should I take a gummy? No, I'll stay sober.
That was the wrong choice for this sandwich. You're going to get 2 pieces of bread and you're going to toast them. Golden brown. Then you're going to get some peanut butter and you're going to get some Nutella. Smear peanut butter on one side, Nutella on the other side. Then you're going to get a banana. You're going to chop it up into, maybe 9 or 12 circles. And you're going to arrange these uniformly onto the sandwich to the best of your ability, and you're going to eat it.
Oh my God.
I need a cigarette now.
I'm telling you, I inspired this sandwich because I used to have banana sandwiches. My dad taught me how to have a mayonnaise and banana sandwich.
Yeah, don't.
It was good though. Wasn't bad. I agree. Nutella and peanut butter is much better. Much better substitute. All right. Listeners out there, I have a question for you. Do you have a great speedrun question for next year's speedrun? If that's a yes, join our Discord, enter them in our speedrun question ideas channel, and we'll add them to next year's speedrun. Just remember, they need to be yes or no, 1 or 2 word answers. Either or questions will also be accepted. And don't forget my what's your favorite? I love those too. At the end of the year, we're going to have 2 drawings for a $25 gift card of your choice, and you can enter up to 5 questions to go into the drawing. You can enter as many as you want. We'll be glad to take your free ideas, but you're only going to get credit for 5. So good luck with that. We hope you engage. All right. Well, it's time to move on to our next segment. That would be This Week at Bungie. All right. T-minus 4 weeks until Witch Queen. Hazel, This Week at Bungie, what's rocking, man?
Oh boy. Nothing as inflammatory as last week. Sort of.
Up in arms?
Anyway.
Okay.
Sort of. Well, yeah, somebody's always going to be up in arms, and
right.
I'm kind of up in arms about it. But it doesn't matter, because Bungie's going to do what Bungie's going to do, and that's going to be it. So, the first thing that they say here in the TWAB, which is pretty cool, is this week we'll be talking about power, blue drops, gunsmith rep, some shifts in exotic sources, and more. And then over the next few TWABs, this is the important part for me here, they are going to be talking about Vanguard rep, Gambit reworks for Gatr.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you had to pay them to do this, but I don't know. But
nope.
Right.
I think they heard our call.
Yours. Weapon crafting and Void 3.0.
Okay.
Sounds sexy. All right. So, moving on. They're going to have trailers. Watch them or don't watch them if you don't want spoilers. Whatever. Do your thing. You do you, boo-boo. Mm-hmm. Aside from that, moving on. They are talking about power. So, do you like your power? I like mine. But you know what? Bungie does not like your power. So, Bungie is going ahead and they are raising the power cap and the floor and everything else with it. So the floor, which is basically going to be the lowest possible power. So that recluse that you've been sitting on, it's going to get bumped up to 1350. You heard me right. They are basically saying, hey, all the hard work that you did with getting to Pinnacle and like this 6-month-long season, you really didn't need to do it because we're going to get your ass there anyway. Yeah, exactly. The soft cap, which is going to be where blues land, is that cap is going to be, you ready for this? 1,500.
We've got some work to do. Or for in your case, probably not. Are you over it?
What are you talking about?
The power climb?
No, what I'm over is the fact that, you know, to me, it should be 1340 is the floor. And then 1350 is basically where anybody who got the Pinnacle cap should start from there and be 10 power above.
Right.
I mean, I guess it really doesn't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things because we're all just going to blow past this shit anyway. But it's just nice to get rewarded for, busting our ass for doing some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was a little peeved at first when I heard this. But then I thought about my alt character that I'm playing right now, that it's at like 1291. And thinking, man, I get a fresh start with any character now. And I imagine the person who's coming back, this is probably Destiny's last ditch effort to get someone to come back and try it. And instead of people saying, well, I'm not going to buy Witch Queen because I'm not high enough power level and I don't want to do stupid farming just to play the story. I'm sure that's probably the prevailing thought with Bungie right now. And they want to make sure that everyone can jump in and enjoy the story right off the bat. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you're probably right. I don't know. I just think it's like just a little backhanded.
I mean, why do we even worry about power anymore if they're just going to keep doing this?
Well, of course. I mean, it's just a number. I mean, it really has no bearing on anything else in the entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't feel any more powerful at 15. I'll guarantee you won't feel any more powerful at 1500 than you do at 1350 right now.
I mean, they delta cap stuff anyway, where you can only rise above certain light level, no matter your light level. Whenever you enter any area, whether it's a patrol zone or whatever, the days of just running over stuff are over. I mean, I don't know. I still like feeling powerful. If I go through a patrol, I want to just mow stuff down with one shot. Why not? But,
yeah, I mean, that is fun. I mean, I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do kind of miss that power.
Mm-hmm.
But I will be honest with you. I've kind of been getting a different kind of power grind.
What do you mean?
Or not a power grind, but another powerful feeling. And it's actually from Grandmasters.
Yeah, you just played one tonight.
Well, I mean, that's later in the episode, but yeah.
edit point.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great way to feel powerful because you're fighting stuff that actually can hit you and hurt you.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to touch that nightfall until probably 4 weeks later, at least, once you get to the high enough power level to be able to enter that. You're light gated right now to play that once this season resets.
Right, exactly. But what I'm saying though is that it's still just, I mean, it's a great way to feel powerful.
It's one of the rare forms because there's not many things that require that much light anymore besides
Master Vogue or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which I've played neither because I don't feel drawn to. I'm high enough light.
Well, you don't PvE though.
I mean, you're right.
I mean, that's to put it bluntly. I mean,
no,
you play PvE, but
yeah, you're on the nose.
I mean, if you did PvE, then of course you'd be doing it. But your bread and butter is PvE or PvP.
That's what I get the most enjoyment from right now because there's no real story or anything. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, I'll tell you this, I have more fun for the past like 3 or 4 nights, like trying to complete the corrupted Nightfall.
Oof.
It was rough.
Yeah.
With Soccer and Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, then I have in raids.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's absurd, but yeah. And, shout out to those guys. Spoiler alert for later. You're going to hear me kind of, get a little excited when we win for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I got a shit ton of loot. It was great. But I mean, it's just, I mean, to me, it's better than doing raids. I can't explain it. I think it's harder than raids for sure.
Well, you have to spec into those things, right? You have to have all the right mods on just right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. With the raid, if you're high enough light, you can get by without it if you didn't need it.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, raids are sort of like the lowest common denominator almost, where it's like you know, like, hey, you know, they have to be kind of like approachable for everyone.
Right.
Whereas, I mean, and I'm not talking about day one rating, because day one rating is its own beast.
Right.
Anybody who ever has attempted that, I mean, yeah, you know, that's some hard shit right there. I mean, I'm kind of glad I'm doing Grandmasters because I sort of have like a baseline for day one rating, I feel.
And are we going to do a day one raid this year?
Well, I mean, we could. We should do another day one raid race and then do a bet. Who makes it further?
Oh God. That doesn't bode me very well.
Hey, you would have won last time.
That's right. We'll talk about it. We got some weeks to talk with our community about it and see.
And the better thing too is that this is, I mean, okay, we're just kind of skipping ahead here, but I'm going to skip ahead anyway because this is what we're talking about. So they actually did give us the time and date for the new raid.
Yes.
Because you brought it up.
Yeah, why not?
They have told us that the raid will drop on March 5th, 2022, approximately, I think it's 2 weeks after the DLC drops.
Yep.
So, you know, and it's going to drop at 10 a.m. Pacific, so 1 hour after reset on Saturday.
Here's what I'll be doing weeks before that raid.
Crucible. Sleeping? Nothing? I'm not hearing anything.
You're not hearing that?
No.
You're bullshitting me now.
No, I'm not.
You didn't hear that, really?
I did not hear anything.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see. I'll play it one more time.
Nope.
What the hell just happened?
Sounded all like muffled.
Muffled?
Yeah.
What the hell? Huh. Hold on.
Pardon our dust.
What the hell? Let's do this.
I keep waiting for you to say, what the hell, Bungie? But this is not Bungie's issue.
All right. I'm talking here. Yes. Everyone can hear me. And I'm going to go to here. And here. And here. All right. Play this. What the hell? All right, I'm going to turn one thing. Hold on, let me try one thing real quick. All right, let me try this.
Oh, God.
That means you hear it.
Unfortunately.
That's what I'll be doing before the raid. Stack those bounties, guys. Stack them. Well,
it's funny you mentioned that too, because they talk about that.
I knew you were going there. All right, go ahead.
So we're skipping ahead here to another part.
Sure.
Real quick though, hot fixes. They reverted colorblind settings, which is a good thing.
Zaniac's happy.
Yeah, he is. I saw that. Yeah, and they're looking at things like hand cannons not spawning in with ammo in PvP or PvE.
Right.
Yeah, good times. And then it looks like they decreased the Dares of Eternity game streak.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, wait, that's an issue. I'm sorry. That it is giving a maximum of 125 points per completion. I was getting like 185, so I'm glad
Oh, did you have your ghost on? Might be why. Your XP ghost?
No, I just stayed in it and hated my life while I was doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yep, there's that. Movies. Art.
Can I just say this? Can I just say this on the movies? I watched that first movie.
Yeah.
That was a work of art. That was beautiful. I have to call him out. I'm sorry.
We have some insanely talented people.
Man, do we ever. This was, it's called Destiny Journey to Witch Queen trailer fan made. And, this was really, really cool. Really great. So watch that one, if you are on the website.
That's the second one. The first one was Race of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I meant the second one. The first one was cool too, but the cinematics were just fantastic. How he spliced those all together, it was really nice. Fit it with the dialogue. Great job there. Yep. Yeah.
I'm speechless.
I usually don't shout stuff out, but I watched that. It was really neat. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
And the art is always awesome.
Of course.
But you brought up bounties. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not forget about the power stuff. I will get back to that, I promise. But Gatr is giving me a ton of segues, so I'm going to take them and run with them so we can get through this quickly as possible. So, bounties. So they're talking about Iron Banner bounties in particular here, but it's going to be widespread for all of them. So bounties acquired and completed at any point during this season will be retained after the Witch Queen releases. So the bounties you finish up until day 1 of Witch Queen will be fine. Those aren't going anywhere, everything else. If the bounties are not done, they will be basically purged from your collections, from your tab.
Right.
Okay. Bounties kept from Season of the Lost will be capped at 1350 power and will not give players any bonus power next season upon redemption, except for the inflated power that's going to come from the artifact.
Right.
Okay. Additional notes real quick here. These bounties will be removed, which I already said. Basically Saladin. I love this little note that they slipped in here without mentioning anything at all, really. Saladin is going to get a rework just like all the other vendors.
Thank goodness. I knew it was coming. Just a matter of time. They probably have time to mess with it yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that means the first week, opening week in season 16 of Iron Banner, it's going to have a bar like the rest of the vendors, or is that coming soon? I wonder. They were kind of vague.
No, it's going to happen.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's going to be like the Trials one, where basically you just keep earning it and the weapons keep rotating through.
Okay. I like it.
Or they're going to keep the same weapons. So like if you reset it, then you'll get basically like the same weapon with different perks possibly.
Right. Okay.
So
makes sense.
Okay. There we go. And then final note, because they have us here, our final Iron Banner of the season will be during the final week of Season of the Lost. So we are going to have one more shot at that.
Get them done.
There we go.
Okay. And I'm not so much worried about the power grind with those bounties, but what it will do, it's going to give you the new Iron Banner. You have a chance of getting the weapons, the new Iron Banner bounty weapons. Yep.
Exactly. Which are fine, sure, and that means you're going to get the new perks as well.
Yeah. So it's worth stocking them up.
Yeah, maybe.
You're still not going to do them, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Why would I?
I tried.
I don't hate my life that much.
Okay. Iron Banner's fun. Especially with friends.
I did have some fun. I played with Grackle.
You played with us. You were on our team for a little while.
Yeah.
It was fun. You had a good time, admit it.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I was putting to use a lot of our scrim stuff. So
exactly.
It was definitely a positive experience.
All right.
Also, I was going with like at least a 1.0 KDA, every time at least.
Yeah.
So
you were doing good, man.
Yeah, I was
watching your
proud of my
KD
damn
actually
self.
because you don't play a whole lot. Your KD was like every game was going up. It was great.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Despite what Kingsley would say.
I'll take it.
Okay. Regarding bounties, here are, okay. Bounties from the Tangled Shore will be removed. So don't keep those, turn that shit in.
Get those etheric spirals turned in for Glimmer when they're available. Do it.
Yep. Or whatever else you can get them for.
I don't think you can really get as Glimmer. Or you can, what you could do, sell them for Glimmer and then get other materials that you're low on if they're offered for Glimmer. That's the best way
exactly.
to do it.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that in an Ebontis video.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Good stuff. Then, okay, some daily bounties will be deprecated, basically. So basically, if there's something that's no longer in the game, then it doesn't have a purpose, basically. So some of those dailies are going to be gone.
They were vague.
FYI.
They were vague though on that, weren't they? So we don't really know. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to tell you all the stuff.
I got to think about which ones I think they're not going to be keeping. Just roll the dice, I guess.
But those are dailies though.
Yeah. Well, dailies are, 6,000-7,000 XP. But if they're gone, they're 0 XP. I don't know. I'll have to think about this. What they could be getting rid of. I'm thinking it's probably, I don't know. It could still be, no. I'll think about it.
You do way more bounties than I do, so
yeah,
you're going to be the best one to.
And shout out to Kingsley Mac and Mr. Monkey. We were running around all of the, I recorded it. I don't know if I'll post it or not because, I don't know, we'll see. It's kind of a long video, but for about an hour we went around all the worlds and we were talking amongst ourselves about what bounties to keep, what ones to grab, so.
That's a waste of time. I'm just kidding.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was nice to run around and talk with him too, so shout out. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Monkey's he's good.
He's good people. He's good people. Yep. All right, I've totally derailed you, so find your way back slowly and I'll be quiet now.
All right. So here we go. Okay. Quick note otherwise regarding bounties real quick here. A handful of drifter bounties are going to be going away as well. And basically Drifter is going to be getting a rework of some sort.
I can't wait.
I don't know. I mean, if you remember, Bungie mentioned something along the lines of, I forget when it was, but they talked about doing a thing where they said, like, they want to update something. And then once they update it, that they would go ahead and like update something else.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, but it was basically, I think it was from Joe Blackburn. And he said something along the lines of like, he wanted to update something like the vendors, how they all had that ability now. And then what he said is that he wanted to have it so that by the time that all the vendors got updated, then they would start going back through and see, like, say, how they can tweak the rework to get it better.
Okay.
So this, what they're doing for Gambit, or for the Drifter anyway, it could be interesting to see because they could be bringing that same philosophy to Vanguard and Crucible too.
Very true.
So we'll have to see what they do.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Rule of thumb, according to Bungie, not anyone else's rule of thumb. But when it comes to bounties, if you do not want to lose your rewards, we highly recommend that you turn in your bounties before a new year of Destiny content hits the servers.
Lies.
It's funny. They've said this how many years now? Is this 7 years, 8 years?
Lies. Keep your bounties.
Keep your bounties. So there we go. All right. So that's the, no, it's just flat out lies. Okay. Shit's broken. Raid. Fun stuff. Here we go. Okay. So with the power, I mentioned the floor. So that's going to be the baseline for all of your stuff is going to be 1350. The soft cap, which is going to be basically where blues, are going to drop. You'll get some purples too, but mainly you're going to go back to blue gear for the soft cap. Then once you hit the power cap, which is the top of basically, the soft cap, which is going to be 1550, blues are going to stop dropping for you in playlist activities.
Like Crucible, basically.
And strikes.
Yeah, all that
there's
stuff.
PvE too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gambit.
Gambit too. Yeah.
Yep. But you're going to freak out, right? You're going to be like, oh, Hazel, what about my mats? Let's see. But you know what they're going to do instead is they're going to give you a slim chance at basically getting some enhancement cores or prisms or ascendant shards, something like that.
Okay.
Something more useful than a bunch of blues that you're going to have to go to the tower and delete.
Yeah, we're not, yeah. What are they going to, I'm getting ahead of myself, but if we do dismantle them, what are you going to get from it anyway? Besides a little glimmer.
Nothing. So that's a power cap is 1550. And then the hard cap, which is the pinnacle cap, is going to be 1560.
Man, that's a lot of grinding.
So we're going to go from basically 200 power to get to the power cap.
That's a lot for 2 weeks.
Oh,
Ugh.
well, it not really, because you know that we always reach that power cap pretty quickly. I mean, by the time you finish the campaign, you should be probably right about 1500.
Okay. That'd be nice. I hope so.
On your first character. The second character you run it on, you're going to just mow through it.
Yeah, but you'll have already
some
higher weapons. All right, go ahead.
I just thought of something.
Uh-oh, what?
It's what I just said. We're going to have to run through the campaign 3 times.
I don't understand that part. I don't understand that part. If we run it through, maybe, because I don't know.
Maybe they'll fix it. Although this campaign does look different. It does look more fun. I will be honest and say that. So, I mean, we'll have to see.
We'll see. By that first time we run it through, we'll know.
And they did say here that there will be some adjustments to the pinnacle and powerful sources, as these shift yearly to focus on newer seasonal content. But they're not going to tell us what they are.
Okay.
All right. Last up is designing an economy is easy, right? And then they went with short answer. Absolutely not. Okay. So I've already touched on one of the things here is that blues are basically, you're going to see less of those. So those are not going to be in your inventory.
I got a question.
1500. Yeah.
Quick question. At what power level are the blues not going to fall in the playlist activities? I was a little vague on that. Is it 1500? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I need to know.
Yep. Yeah. So once you hit 1500, no, I'm sorry.
Or is it 1550? It's 1560 is the pinnacle cap. 1550 is the hard cap. 1500 is the soft cap, right?
Yeah. It's going to be 1500.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
Players above the soft cap will instead see a slightly increased chance of receiving legendary rewards.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right.
So,
just making sure our listeners understand.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, that's what I've been saying. I thought I was saying it correctly.
You probably did, and I'm probably like, well, wait a minute. Yeah, okay.
Well, it's only 3 a.m. So.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. All right. So while we can't, auto dismantle blues, which I miss because I'm going to miss the mats, honestly. But those mats are basically getting deprecated too. So gunsmith reputation. Turn in your gunsmith materials. Okay. We don't need them anymore.
All right.
You don't need them. I don't need them. Bungie doesn't need them. Go ahead. I mean, pull up a YouTube video. I think Datto has one. Astacross, I think he has one. Above has another.
Let's go.
What?
Let's compare.
Let's go.
How many mats you got?
How many mats do I have?
I'm going to count mine. 1, 2.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Those are, hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 10,000 mod components. What the hell am I going to use those for? Those are, yeah. Okay. I've got,
yeah. Oh, I have 170 mod components, which, yeah. FYI, those are going away as well. So, you can't use them for anything.
Right.
So
I thought I had more than I do, but I've got 36,100 weapon mods. I'm sorry, weapon parts.
Gunsmith materials.
36,100 approximately. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Where you at?
I have, drumroll please.
I'll insert it.
15. 15
what?
Gunsmith mats.
You already turned all yours in?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I turned them in when DMG tweeted out that, hey, turn in your gunsmith mats. I was like, done.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah. I think I had like 6,700 or 7,500, something like that.
Did you get any good rolls?
No, I didn't get shit.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just went ahead and pretty much sharded it all and got a bunch of legendary shards. And then I've been stocking up on planetary mats. So.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, yeah. So mods gunsmith rep, turn in your shit. You don't need it anymore. So like I said, pull up a YouTube video, find out what rolls are good. What do you want? Keep in mind, from last week, we know that scout rifles are going to be, anti-barrier. So, contingency plan is out there. There's a couple good scouts out there. Okay. Then mods and mod components. Like I said before, mod components are going away, so they're useless.
Do we get anything for them if we dismantle them right now? Be nice if we got anything like a legendary shard or something.
Nope. You don't get anything for it. I just deleted one of them and nothing.
Let's just clear.
Yeah, I am. Okay, here's the other thing is that if you're going to discard those, you have to hold the button down for each one.
What?
Yeah, I'm not fucking doing that.
Dude, I got like I just mentioned, I got
10,000?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stacks of 1,054. Wow. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, just let Bungie take it when
I'm going to let Bungie take it.
Yeah.
That'll free up my space.
Yeah. You can't really do anything with them, but I would say this though, for Gatr, it's probably less of a thing, but, for like newer players or players that don't have all the mods, go to Ada every day and go to Banshee every day.
Absolutely.
Try to get rid of those mod components if you have any. I don't know where the fuck you get mod components from.
You get them from, the weapon bounties. Weapon bounties.
Oh, yeah. That's the reason why I don't know.
The gunsmith bounties.
So if you see a bounty you need or a mod that you need, do it.
Yeah.
Get them, try to ship them out as quick as you can. So that way you can go ahead and have a full complement of, mods because mods are awesome.
Nice. Okay.
All right. So, with mods, they are going to be moved from Banshee and Ada 1 starting February 22nd.
The mods are?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought.
Yeah, they're getting moved. They're going to Master Rahul. Rahul is going to be selling all the things now.
Including weapon mods? Or the mods?
Yep.
Okay.
And they're going to cost 10,000 glimmer each.
All right. That's not bad.
Eh.
I mean, once you unlock the mod, it's unlocked, so.
Yeah, that's true. Then, here we go. Some things are going to be deprecated, which are, things you should know about. I mean, I don't know who the hell uses them, but weapon telemetries are going away because they are so beneficial to the game.
I turned those in yesterday. The bar moved like just a fraction. It's like, why am I even doing this?
That's the thing I don't understand is that shit should be worth way more.
Yes. You had to get a headshot, and it's a random headshot to get that to fall. I don't understand why they kept this to begin with, but I've never really used them, but I was like, well, I was using some of my consumable stuff where you get a headshot, drops a weapon telemetry, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. It moved it like a hair for a whole, it's just bad. It's a good thing they're going away.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next thing here is Rahul is taking over, like I hinted at before. So, here we go. So, okay, we all know that Spider's inventory and the stuff that he would do is getting moved to Master Rahul. We already knew that.
Right.
But Master Rahul is going to get a lot more stuff. So he's picking up the mods from Banshee and Ada. Then, regarding enhancement prisms and ascendant shards, he's going to be selling them. And these are going to be so enhancement prisms are going to be 10 enhancement cores, 25 mats, and 10,000 glimmer. And then ascendant shards are 10 enhancement prisms, 100 planetary mats, and 50,000 glimmer.
Yeah, I don't think it's changed. It's pretty much what you pay now.
Yeah, I'm going to the tower right now so I can take a look and see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 100. Up. Yeah. I remember it's 50,000 glimmer, definitely.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to move on to the next thing here while I'm loading into the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say here, as a final note, before we move on, some exotic news, I mean. Rahul will also decrypt umbral engrams.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, really. You don't have to go to the helm anymore.
Well, we'll have to go there for something else soon, but.
Well, no, I mean, you can, but he's going to it's going to be a random one for him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if you want to focus it, you will still have to go to the helm for that.
Okay.
So, all right. Now, exotics. Yes.
Won't go away. DMT will not go away.
I so enjoyed using that
on
scrims. It was so great. Okay. Hawkmoon and Dead Man's Tale. Xur is going to be selling these.
Yeah, but for what cost?
Expensive.
Yeah.
And these are going to have random rolls as well.
That's good.
So, they're going to be expensive. 1 Ascendant Shard, 1 Exotic Cipher, 125,000 Glimmer, and 200 Legendary Shards.
Pass. Keep your gun.
Yeah, I'm glad I got my shit done now.
Me too. I'm so glad I got all my stuff done.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's a PSA right there. So if you need a DMT, Dead Man's Tale, or a Hawkmoon,
get them now.
Get in the Discord.
Yeah.
Come on. Get in there. Let's do it now before it's February 21st and you're getting around to it going like, you know what? I think that you probably need to do that.
I'm ready. I'll run some Presages with people. Hell yeah. I'll even run the Hawkmoon missions. Those are fun. They're a little tough, but
I despise Hawkmoon. That mission is rough.
You definitely need a good fire team in there. It's rough.
Yeah, you need a decent fire team, not good.
Well, decent.
Yeah. Now, Dead Man's Tale, I mean, that's some shit you can do solo.
Yeah, it's fun. That's a fun mission. I can't believe it's going away.
I know.
Oh, well.
Yep. So, regarding the catalysts, though, once you get the weapon, or if you already have the weapon, it's going to drop from playlist activities.
Oh, okay. That's good
for
to
the
know.
catalysts. Yep. Fun fact also is that it's not just for DMT and Hawkmoon. It's going to include Agar's Scepter, Outbreak Perfected, which I still need, Whisper of the Worm, and the Fourth Horseman.
I remember how hard it was to get that catalyst for the pulse rifle, the Outbreak.
Yeah,
God, that was a bitch.
Funk that.
I'm not running any legendary. What's the thing we have to run to get the Ager's Scepter catalyst? Oh, legendary. What the hell they call those things? I've lost count. Well, all these 6-man activities.
It's the
not dares.
Not the blind well. It's the astral alignment.
Yeah, I got to do legendary ones to get that.
No, you don't have to do legendary. Yeah, well, I mean, it's like 50-50.
Okay.
So yeah, I got mine from doing regular dares. So you can still do regular dares and get it from there. It's just a lesser chance. Or,
is it dare?
Yeah, sorry. Astral alignment.
I know. There's so many 6-man activities. Okay.
Yeah, we got shit out the ass on here.
Yeah.
So, yep. Yeah. So, if you still need a catalyst for Hawkmoon, Dead Man's Tale, Agar's Scepter, Outbreak Perfected, Whisper of the Worm, the Fourth Horseman on February 22nd, get your ass into some playlist activities, Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit. And, they'll pop up in there.
200 legendary shards. Woof.
That's to buy the weapon. That's
I know. That's what I'm saying. Don't buy it. Just run the missions before they go away.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't buy it. Put in like a little bit of effort.
Yeah.
Get in the Discord. Go like, hey, you
got 4
guys
weeks.
are sometimes funny. So here,
yeah, carry
me through a presage mission so I can get my DMT. So
sure. Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Anything else?
That is it.
Okay. Well, you know what I'll be doing.
That goes on for way too long.
I did that. I did it purposely so it would drive you insane. You know where I got this sound clip, right? That's the day we both ran the first Splicer mission.
Yeah.
And I said, hold on a sec. I got to turn my bounties in once I got the artifact. And that was that one shot. Yeah. Okay. I'm done torturing you. Thank you, Hazel.
I can't even stand the sound of that.
I love that sound. It's like dopamine.
I was listening to the show and I heard you do that and I was like, oh my God, it goes on too long.
I purposely did that just so you could realize how many I was turning in at time. Anyway. All right. I'll spare you more of that. Thanks, Hazel.
You.
Appreciate it, brother. All right. Let's move on to some,
wait.
What?
One thing real quick.
Yep.
So, I forgot to mention this last week. Yep. Gamer Girl Grey was the community focus.
Oh yeah, that's
last
right.
Week.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, definitely check out her article, that they did with her and they did an interview and everything else. It was really, really awesome and well done. And I mean, I love that Reddit, tried to bash her. And the only thing they could say is that she basically was running a 6-stack in Crucible and farming kills. And I'm like, wow. Okay. Yeah. Don't be petty. And then also they did another community focus. I don't know if this is going to become a weekly thing. It hasn't been typically, but, they did another community focus, today actually, and it's Paris.
Oh. Hell yeah. He's a boomer like me. Network. I mean, internet wise, I'm not officially a boomer, but yeah, he's like us, man. One of us. Yeah.
Find one of us.
Plus 40 plus dads.
Oh,
Gamer Dads.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. Paris is so entertaining, man. He's a great force in the community. So hell yeah, he's due.
Yeah. I've never watched him. I don't know if he streams or what, but,
yeah, he's a go.
I'm only familiar with him. Go ahead.
Sorry. It's late and I'm buggy. He's one of the co-hosts of Gamer Tag Radio. I've been listening to that show for a long time. And himself, Danny, and Peter, they're all really good, really great. I don't know if you listen to their podcast or not, but it's a really great podcast, and it's general gaming. It's not just Destiny. But Paris has always been one to he's always stood up for the Destiny community. And him and, like I said, his son and him had played a raid together, and yeah, good times.
Nice.
Good guy.
Yeah, I'm only familiar with him from his tweets and things like that, because that's how I found out about him. And I was cracking up at his tweets because he's funny. He's got some really good points of view too, and it's like, ooh,
he doesn't pull any punches either. He will tell you like it is, and I like that.
Yeah,
I like that about him.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, well, congratulations, you guys got to follow.
Yeah, he's got quite a few followers.
Yeah. I'm happy to be one of them.
Yep, me too.
And that is everything in the world of Bungie right now.
Awesome. And I cannot wait till next week. I'm sure we're going to get some more bombs dropped next week as far as what's going to happen in Witch Queen. I have a feeling this isn't the end of it. So,
oh no, not at all. I mean, because they already said like they're covering, well, that's a quick question for you. I mean, what do you want to see them talk about next week that they talked about here?
Well, they need to talk about Gambit. They need to talk about the new Iron Banner. They probably won't talk about that right away.
Nope.
They'll talk about it later in the season.
Nope. No, Iron Banner is not getting I think I read somewhere too that Iron Banner is going to be out, or they're not going to do trials until after the raid drops.
Right. I wonder if that's the same for Banner.
Probably.
Okay.
But, so the topics are going to be Vanguard rep, Gambit reworks, weapon crafting, and Void 3.0.
Well, obviously, Void 3.0 and weapon crafting are probably the highest priority, but I'm curious. I'm really curious what they're going to do with Gambit. I like playing the game. I have a crew that I run with on Wednesdays usually, and I'm just curious what they're going to do. I don't know. We'll see. I'm guessing maybe that's what they'll talk about next week. But they've kind of, what have they listed here? They've listed 3 topics. So wouldn't it make sense over the next 3 weeks? There'll be those 3 separate topics.
Well, no, it's not going to be in that order though.
No, they didn't say it was in that order, but I'm thinking those are the 3
4 topics.
4. Okay.
Topics.
All right. So there's 4 weeks left. Yeah, that could very well be. Those are the topics for the next 4 weeks. All of them.
That's what I said.
Yeah, all of them are going to be very interesting. So it doesn't matter, just as long as I hear them all. All right.
Can you just say that you're fading?
I'm punchy as hell right now. I did not get a lot of sleep to begin with because Tree Guys woke me up at really early in the morning. I am like totally fading. I'm definitely feeling it. I'm feeling my spirit leave my body. It's already in bed. So, thanks to Hazel. Thanks, brother, for going through that. I know it's late, man. I know it's late. So I just want to make sure we got that information, everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
And, we'll be right back. Hey, everyone. Looking for some like-minded gamers to Destiny with?
Or maybe just a place to de-stress and talk about life with others for a bit.
Or maybe just a place to discuss the latest movies, the TV shows, new awesome music out there.
What about New Year's resolutions or goals or our fitness section?
Well, you're also reading about our channels with links to our clan, SpeakPipe, our show music playlist for God's sake, or even where to get a show t-shirt, mouse pad, or coffee mug if you want to help support us.
Wow, you're not just a Bungie shill, you're a Guardian Downcast shill, huh? So, man, you must be forgetting also about the Podcast Questions channel, where listeners can put in their own questions for us.
And Hazel, our show feedback channel, where listeners can talk about our past podcast. And our
stop. This shameless plug has gone on long enough. I'm going to put a fork in it. Everybody, just go to the GDC Discord community link on our weekly show notes where you can see the invite there. Just visit us at guardiandowncast.com. That invite link there will never expire, so just go there too.
And later, Guardian.
Oh my God, just stop.
What? What did I do?
You're so excited.
I'm excited, man.
Just bring it. Just bring it down.
All right, whatever, man. Okay, jeez.
Lay off the coffee.
What a downer. All right, well, we've gone over the TWAB this week. Another batch of information, what we can expect for Witch Queen. But the one thing that's been talked about recently among a lot of Destiny podcasts is the new player experience and how it's probably fallen short. And of course, according to Burning Wing, I can't tell you what a new player experience actually feels like because I'm not a new player, even though I start a free-to-play account and tried to play it. Because of what I know, she's right. I really know all how to power up and what to do next and all that. So I coerced my son, who's probably Destiny's probably not his favorite game, and I said, "Listen, do me a favor, start a new character and play through the New Light experience." And last time you were on here, you were talking about you and your friend Quinn. You were playing the Red War campaign, how you would just jump into the Red War campaign and start playing the story. And you were talking about how you were kind of confused where to go next and what to do next. Well, you logged on this week and started a new character and played the New Light experience, which you have never played before. And with all the games and experience you have playing video games, I want to hear what you thought. What did you think overall the New Light story?
Okay, so I'll start this off by saying I misclicked. And I clicked, instead of making a new character, I clicked on a character that I last played like 2 years ago.
Okay.
But it put me right into the Dares of Eternity, which is at the new player experience.
You're launched into it whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
not directly, but yes.
That's how it felt. So I get put into like this this beginner area, and I got a bunch of noobs behind me, and you get shot through some kind of cannon, and then it's like kill these guys, then they give you powers to shoot crystals or something like that at some point.
Right, it's one of the engagements, right?
And so this to me is like clearly a raid mechanic. This is something that would be used in like dungeons and raids, or strikes and raids. As someone who's played Destiny and is a returning player, and someone I've played a good amount of MMORPGs, I think this is like a dogshit way to introduce people to Destiny, new and old. I think raid mechanics are placed at the markers or points in the game that they are for a reason. And it's because they're not very straightforward or intuitive mechanics to someone who's trying to learn the controls or trying to learn like the general layout of the game. Mm-hmm. And so what I noticed going in there was a bunch of like level ones. None of like they would kill these people, and then none of the crystals would get destroyed. And I did this for like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes, where I think I was probably the only one shooting at the crystals. I'm like, why is this taking so freaking long when I got 5 other people behind me? I'm sure another one of them was killing the dude on the other side. While I was doing this, I think I died maybe like 3 times, 4 times. You know, having noobs behind you, like really just trying to figure out the game, and they're getting blasted and, you know, nuked from the sky, and, you know, they're just dead, and then they respawn, and then they're dead again, then they respawn, then they're dead again, and then they quit. Like, it's just not a very fun experience when, like, you got, like, 4 people kind of, like, struggling around you, and then, like, you got a couple people that are, like, it's even to me, it wasn't very intuitive at the start. But we eventually got that done. Then we moved on to the next one, which is like this, I think you gotta like shoot these shields with these heads, and it's like a purple void laser. Once again, I think only like a couple people knew what was going on. And so you got a bunch of people like running around just like shooting at stuff, or, like, you know, not really doing anything productive other than just dying. And I mean, they're killing some things, I guess. But once again, it felt like only like a couple of people were actually engaging with these mechanics. And I think that someone who's like coming back to the game, especially like if I did make a new character, which I used an old character that was like 980 light or something like that, got boosted up to 1100.
Right.
It just like, I think I died during the entire thing like maybe 15 times. And it just dragged on and on and on and on. And you'd consistently see the same thing where like 2 or 3 people were engaging with the boss mechanic or the mechanic of the encounter, and the rest were kind of just there, like biding their time until it was done. Yeah, it just wasn't very enjoyable, and I think it's a really poor way to reintroduce people and introduce people for the first time to a game like Destiny, which I think predominantly is like a relatively laid back experience, and you're putting them right into like a war zone, like right off the start, and they're just like trying to figure out how to like move forward and just trying to shoot things and kill things, but then they also have to figure out these mechanics on the fly and engage with them and get into like these zones and shoot these crystals. And I think that's really complicated for people that are new to the game, or even returning.
Well, this was part of their 30th anniversary content that was free to play. And I don't understand why they launched new players into this encounter either. Because Hazel, didn't they used to send you right to the ghost scene where you wake up from the ghost? And then play at least one story where you get your ship, like the very first story in Destiny. What happened to that? I mean, why are we getting shot right into this 30th anniversary edition, Dares of Eternity? I don't understand why they decided to do that. Are they just wanting to force people to play it and think that they'll just grab onto it? I don't understand why they did this.
No, I think this was, basically, like, cause if you noticed, okay, so this happened to me. So I, may or may not have been playing this at work. And when I started, I just wanted to see like what the new stuff was.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want to get in and do like, stuff.
It's exactly what I did, man. I just wanted to see, hey, what's new?
So I just wanted to see some stuff, and all of a sudden I'm just fucking in there.
Yeah, you're flying.
And I'm like, damn, okay, well, all right. So I think that's the thing, and how it was set up was is that basically it's, it's how it was programmed, and that's unfortunately, why every new light player got pulled into there instead, and, we had to actually, had Operation Save the New Lights.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that? It's Operation Fix Our Damn Game.
Well, what Cam didn't have to go through is it's an 1150 event, Cam. Light barrier is 1150 light. And people were getting launched in there at like what? Below 1,000 light, Hazel? Like Cam,
I think they were coming in at like 1,100 maybe, or 1150.
1,100.
Like 50 under,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just getting, and then they had, of course, barrier champions, all these champions, different mods. And these guys don't have these mods yet. I was confused by that, but, I thought they patched it where we didn't have to lower our light to go in and save the new lights.
Right. They did patch that. So now it's open, and, anybody can help the new lights. And
okay. All right. I was just curious what, did they reduce it to 1,100 light, the activity? I'm curious. I'm not in the game right now, so I can't look and see it, but I know it was 1,150 at first. Maybe they just lowered the light level requirement to 1,100 maybe? So the enemies weren't just knocking you on your ass every time?
I don't know. It still felt like you were kind of undergeared.
Yeah,
and I bet. I can't imagine what like a new player coming into that really feels like, because it wasn't very enjoyable. And like you're saying, there's no like kind of gentle introduction through like a story or anything like that. It's like, oh, just get blasted in here, and then there's like this weird like horse that's celestial, and like you have to pick a door, and there's like, just like you're saying, there's all these special modded mobs and
champions.
It's just really complicated for new players. And I've like, people, especially new players, they want to come into a game and like feel empowered. And that's why most of these games have like a difficulty curve where the beginning is, like grandma from down the road could do it. Like no problem, probably. With a little bit of assistance maybe. But this is like, even as someone who's played a decent amount of shooting games, even if it's like FPSs aren't my, like, I guess like game of choice.
Right.
I still found it like exceedingly difficult. And I think that went hand in hand with having a bunch of new players with me as well, where they feel the same exact way. And I just feel like it does not make for like a cohesive and like enjoyable experience when people are getting launched into this, or people have to go in and like carry these people through what should be the tutorial. To me, it feels like another game type, like Gambit or something like that, or like the holiday ones that they do.
It was
like an event one. Completely. I think having that as an option as soon as you go to the hub or whatever it's called, like normal,
the tower,
I think that's perfect. Yeah, the tower. I think that's perfectly acceptable. Launching people in, it just feels like I'm starting a new game. Just like every other freaking game in existence, it's probably going to start me off in like a tutorial where I can kind of learn how to play. And
normally you do.
It's just shoot you into a rocket, and it's like, hey, suck on these eggs, figure it out, bud.
Yeah. Maybe Bungie just said, they threw their hands up and went, you know what, we'll just have to try again on they have their next content drop coming in on the 22nd of February, the Witch Queen expansion, where they're bringing everybody's light up to 1350 automatically. So I think they're trying to make an attempt to say, all right, hey, everybody's on an even playing field. We're just going to jump right in and start playing the campaign. And I think, Hazel, didn't you say you and your wife were going to try the Witch Queen new player experience?
Yeah. She has a question actually in there.
Okay.
In our podcast questions about that too.
Good deal. All right. So not a pleasing experience that first time. We get that maybe the new light experience didn't start the greatest. Let me ask you this. How easy was it to navigate on what to do next, or your quest tabs, or you're navigating around the maps and stuff? Were you able to pick up on that pretty easily?
Not really. I don't think it was like super intuitive. There's like one time where it shot me up where like you step on this pad and it launches you up, and I like landed in the middle of this freaking like,
the wheel
disc thing. Yeah. Just in the middle. Yeah. How'd you go through it? Like I enjoyed the movement that came afterwards where like you have to jump through these
it's like a game
rooms
show
and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. I like that. That was probably the most fun that I had that entire time.
Okay.
And then getting out of it, it's just like, oh, cool. Now I have to wait 7 minutes for this boss to die while I'm like just dying over and over again as I'm trying to get these items to kill the boss. And then sometimes I'll kill the things and then no one picks up the items and they disappear. Yeah. And it just drags on and on and on and on. I have no idea why they wouldn't, especially for something that they make new players join, why they wouldn't like make these things have a little bit more permanence.
Yeah, I don't know what their thinking was here. Hazel, do you have any input on this?
I think that they just glanced over it, honestly. Okay. I think that they just goofed and decided to throw everybody in there because, hey, it's new content.
The 30th anniversary, yay!
Yeah. I think that they just forgot about the new light players. That's the only possible way I can say that.
It really is too bad. We've probably lost players because of it. And,
for sure.
What are you going to do? It's already bad enough. I have friends that have played like years ago in like the end of Destiny 1 or maybe the beginning of Destiny 2 that dropped off because they just couldn't keep up. They just couldn't keep up with the dedicated players. I was a very dedicated player. I have a buddy of mine who dabbled in Call of Duty and Destiny. Whenever he played Destiny, I'd join up with him and we'd go through stuff, but I'd always have to catch him up. I'd always have to make sure he did all the stuff before he moved. And if I wasn't there to help him and hold his hand and tell him where to go, he would have had no clue and just flipped the game off.
Oh, yeah.
And that's back then. That's back then. That's like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's a question I have for Cam is, so you started Destiny about 2 years ago at your dad's begging and pleading and possibly bribery.
his friend was playing too. His friend,
I played Destiny 1 as well, like maybe 5 years back or so.
Yeah.
I thought Destiny 1 was pretty good. Destiny 2, I think they kind of got the formula down and really leaned on it.
Okay. So I was just curious, what turned you off to it then?
I think it's that same kind of concept of like playing a game and wanting to relax, but having to do, like, for me, playing a shooting game is very high intensity. Like if I'm not focusing, then I'm just not going to land any shots. So it just wasn't really relaxing to me. And when I want to like have an enjoyable or like high paced game, I have a lot of other games of different genres that I can kind of go to. Whereas Destiny, like, I'd say the only time I really enjoy it is like playing with my dad.
Yeah, we're playing like Gambit together or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's the enjoyable aspect of it for me. Otherwise, it just feels like I've played a lot of World of Warcraft, and a lot of the game kind of feels like that. And this is just something that happens with all MMOs. It's really difficult to avoid, but where they have like these dailies or where they have like these, because they want you to keep on playing and they want to keep you engaged and they want to give you stuff to do. But it's essentially just like I don't know, it feels very samey. Like it's like one layer deep tasks. A lot of the time. Fetch quests, like, kill a certain amount, find these herbs, go to this place and open up chests, stuff like that. It doesn't really feel exploratory, either, because it's pushing you to do these things.
It's very linear.
Yeah. And I think the problem that I have with it is that it kind of pretends that it's not linear. Like it really wants you to feel like you have all these different planets and biomes and stories to go and do, but it just feels like I don't know. For someone that doesn't really give a shit about the story, like doing quests and stuff like that, all that is like a mission that is like a little bit more unique than other missions, and that sometimes you get like a special gun or something out of it. It like they don't really feel too different than strikes to me, and strikes feel like raids light, like all the PvE. I guess is I don't know. It just doesn't engage me as much. PvP I find to be a lot more engaging, but it's still kind of that same thing. And I just don't think it's exactly the game for me.
Yeah, I figured that, and I just wanted your unbiased opinion on it. I didn't want you being a current Destiny player that you like the game, and I wanted someone to come in that maybe isn't biased and loves Destiny already, as someone who literally just is coming into this game and not knowing what to expect and has a lot of gaming experience like you do. I mean, you play a ton of PC games. I mean, I've looked at your Steam library. It's enormous. So
it's like 500 or 600 games.
It's a lot of games. And so what's Bungie do here? What do they do to fix this? I mean, is there
what could they have done better for you?
Yeah.
I mean,
for research. For the
PvE.
For anything. For any of it. Your total experience. What would you think you would, how would you change things if you were Bungie right now?
Okay. The whole point of like keeping the key to keeping an MMO alive is having new players come in. And so when you have a barrier to entry, like there currently exists, in my opinion, I think that it sucks the life out of your game. Where you have people trying to rescue these people to try to get them to continue playing, to keep the game alive. And like that speaks volumes about the community. It reflects poorly on the company. Cause it just seems misguided. In terms of like the PvE, I don't know. I think I'm just a lot more cynical when it comes to games, and I kind of identify gameplay loops and, I guess I kind of like break it down into my mind, break it down into pieces in my head. And, I don't know. I think that does suck the fun out of a lot of it. And I think a reason for that is if the exploration aspect was a little bit more, I guess, free flowing or genuine, I think that would be something that I would definitely be engaged with. But to me, when I have a task and I'm like, it tells me to go here, do this thing, and then go here, do this thing, and I have like 10 of them, I'm not going to do that in like a way where I'm like, la-di-da, oh, nice. Look at how that environment looks. Oh man, they did such a good job on this river with this hillside and tree. What a nice looking area. I'm like, I'm looking at the numbers on the side of my screen that say 0 out of 10, and I make that go to 10 out of 10. And then and then I go to the next area and I try to create routes to do it in the most efficient way possible. And while I'm doing that, I'm not, it doesn't feel exploratory to me. It feels like I'm on rails almost, and they're taking me to these different zones to like give me a sense of variety, when it's really just the same thing, I guess, over and over to me.
Yeah. And I'm the Destiny shill here. Hi, my name's Gatr. I mean, they do call this an action MMO, which I don't believe there's too many action MMOs out there. Am I correct there?
I mean, I guess it depends on how you define it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't think there's a real clear definition of what an action MMO is, because they're combining two things into one game. And
I mean, it is also an RPG. It's an action RPG MMO. You could say it's similar to, like, you could say the same thing of like WoW. It's an action MMORPG.
Okay, so it's similar to World of Warcraft, you're saying?
Well, it's not, but it depends on how you define action.
I guess because it's first-person shooter, maybe that's what's throwing everybody off.
Yeah, FPS MMO, there are very few.
Yeah. So
that's a better distinction to make.
Yeah. Did you see the season pass bar? How you would complete things and you can unlock?
No.
You didn't see that part? Okay.
No.
You were probably so frustrated.
That concept?
Having to pay for something that I play like maybe once a year.
Well, no.
Like that part?
Like season passes in general. So like if you play like some games, most games right now have like a season pass.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on season passes?
Yeah. So for something like Destiny, where it's a game that I play very rarely, I'm never going to go out of my way to buy a season pass.
Of course. Yeah.
And I don't think that's who they're targeting for the season pass.
Sure.
I think they're targeting the people who are really attached to the game and they want milestones to achieve. They want a sense of progression. They want the cosmetics that go with it. I think, so like I get the season pass for Teamfight Tactics on the League client, and it doesn't really do anything other than give you some additional missions and give you some more cosmetics to unlock. And I think it's like maybe $10, and it lasts like 120 days or however long. I think it's a good business model, but I think for Destiny, it only is going to attract like the hardcores generally.
Of course, yeah.
See that part.
Whereas something like TFT is very casual.
Yeah.
And so I think it has a lot better like monetization structure.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on our next segment, because we'll get into gaming and the way things are going and stuff. I've got a lot of thoughts there too. But the one thing I noticed is when I played Battlefield 1, on the actual main screen, they would have a little question and answer stuff like on the screen for new players who are just joining Battlefield. And it said, it was just various parts of how to understand how the game works and how to improve as a first-person shooter game. And it would say shooting from cover. And what it would do is it would have like a little animated, like the beginning of a video. And it was actually tied to Battlefield creators, content creators who made this video for the company, for this purpose. Do you think that would help as far as Bungie goes? Something like that, maybe at a title screen or an opening screen for new players, where people can kind of learn the basics right there from watching videos? Or do you think that's not going to work for this?
I think that could work. I think the big thing with a game like Destiny is it wants you to be immersed. Mm-hmm. And so they don't want you to have to like watch these slideshows that teach you how to play the game.
Yeah.
They want it to be like dynamic and feel natural. Which is why I think the launching people into Dares of Eternity is just absolutely stupid.
Yeah, I still scratching my head at that, but
you have to like ease players into this experience.
On the regular before the 30th anniversary edition stuff came, they would launch you to Earth where the ghost would wake you up, just like it did in the very first Destiny.
Yep,
and
it was very similar.
You would run one mission, and then you would meet Shah Han in the Cosmodrome, and he would step by step tell you things to do. But I've seen from other content creators who have tried to do the free to play accounts, how they were even confused on what to do next. And it just, I feel for Bungie here because I don't know how they can fix this. Hazel, what can they do to fix it, man? Is there anything you wanted to add as far as maybe something they need to do, or are we just going round and round here?
I think, honestly, what they need to do is, to put it bluntly, is they need to have like a team of people that just gives a shit about new lights.
Right.
And then they say, hey, how is this going to impact the new lights? How is this going to impact the new lights? I mean, that's their sole purpose in life, is to ask that question.
Yeah, they should have a new player engagement team or something like that.
Exactly. And then they're going to be able to say, hey, okay, so this is it. And okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put, we're going to set up this so it pulls new lights in right away. Mm-hmm. Is that the best experience?
Right.
And I think, that's the only thing that, they can do besides, I don't know, besides making it just intrinsic within the company.
Right. It's definitely a lot of podcasts I've listened to have talked about this very same thing. And no one seems to have a really clear answer on how to fix it.
This has been done before, for World of Warcraft. Mm-hmm. When Cataclysm came out, they redid every single starting zone with the intention of engaging players with like more unique quests that were like less fetch questy, like giving them a good introduction to the story, easing them into the game and making it feel like satisfying. They restructured that entire thing. And that was like a huge part of that expansion. They can maybe do something similar, if there's like a concerted effort behind it. Otherwise, I think the solution is maybe going ground up and making Destiny 3 and just learning from your mistakes.
You mean Destiny Online?
Yeah, whatever it is. It kind of, to me, it feels like when they make decisions like that, it feels like their feet, like they have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Because like,
we know that term very well here.
It's directly impacting, going back to Factorio, input versus output. Mm-hmm. If your intended output is to like maximize profit and maximize the current player base so you can try to get them to buy season passes, mm-hmm. Limiting and like bottlenecking your input is like it does not follow. It does not make any logical sense. And so to me, that just seems like they're really not committed to, like it really comes off like they don't really care about having new people play the game. Like it feels very careless. Because I've never seen a game like this where it just shoots new players right in to a raid or like a mini raid.
Yeah.
It makes me like scratch my head.
Well,
yeah, and I think a lot of people have that same thought process about that whole thing that they did because, I mean, again, it was just a complete oversight by Bungie.
I think so.
I don't care how they phrase it and everything else or how they didn't phrase it in the TWAB. But, I mean, I just think that they just goofed. You know, I don't think they didn't think that it was going to, actually, you know what I bet it was? I bet that they were so focused on getting the people that like, cause Bungie has always had this thing where they say, you know, okay, well, we're going to do this and we're going to put this behind this kind of like a paywall. Well, whenever they do that, the community gets in an uproar and then they're like, oh, well, you know, well, what are you giving the free player?
Right. So they were trying to.
They were focused on that free player market instead of the new player.
I see. Because we talked about this in our past shows. It's really impressive what they do give you for free in the 30th anniversary edition. Yeah. I mean, the only thing it's paid was the Gallahorn in the dungeon, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
And and some cosmetics, some armor ornaments too. Yeah, that's true. Everything else was free. All the guns.
Yeah, the new lights that gave up and quit. Yeah,
exactly. And you could grind Zur without paying a dime for the game and get all the stuff that unlocks with him, the ships and everything. I gotta admit that's impressive, but yeah, I don't know what happened here.
Is it worth the cost?
I don't know. I know all I can tell you is when I started a new account and I went into the new light before 30th anniversary came out. There would be like a small animated like introduction, like one of those artistry where they're drawing, you know, it's like a draw my life type introduction and it's telling you what happened and you know, I'm your ghost and, you know, I'm reviving you and I'm your buddy for life. You know, they're talking about all of that. But the problem is when they launch people into this event, they're not even getting to that part. They've already quit. So I don't know. I know we're beating this up. I know we're beating this aspect of the fact that Bungie messed up and are putting people right into the dares of eternity, but it had to be said because I think I think they did an admirable job, at least of putting some kind of story together. But I agree with Cam. I think they need to go right into a campaign that's going to suck you into something that's going to pull at your heartstrings or pull at your, I don't know, any type of emotion and then leave you like, you want to continue? Here we go. Here's the path right here. If you want to continue this story or if you want to continue on here's where you need to go next. Do you want to play Destiny? Here you go. Step forward. I think that's what they need to do. And I just like Cam said with World of Warcraft, redoing all the beginning parts of and making them play and actually play parts of the story that originated with that game. Maybe that core knowledge is what they need to get to the new player. And, you know, you're going to have some players just don't give a shit and they're just going to say, you know, skip, get me to the end where I can get on and start playing Crucible. You're going to have those players anyway, but for people who want to get
those are called recovs.
Exactly. Good point. Any overall thoughts before we move on? Anything else anybody wants to say?
No.
Cam?
What are we doing here, Bungie?
Well, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so when we have you on again in about another year or 2 years, and Bungie is like, hey, we've solved the new light problem. Are you going to give it another shot or not?
I'll give the new light part a shot.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right.
And
I was just curious.
Only if my dad coerces me.
I'm not bribing.
Like I said, it's a prerequisite for me to play Destiny. I have to be forced in some way to play it.
Wow.
That sounds like a great environment.
Right.
Yeah.
That's happening.
It sounds like it's a game for you.
Oh yeah, no, I love Destiny 2.
There's another soundbite.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to know soon if they did improve anything in Witch Queen when you and your wife give it a shot, right?
That's right.
And we'll talk about that later in our community questions. But, hey, let's move on. I think we beat up this topic enough. We'll be right back.
Hey Guardians, would you like to send us a question for the show? Well, there's 4 ways to do it.
Number 1, join our Discord server. There's a join link in our show notes. We have some great gamers in there, by the way. And you can just lurk, or hang out, or jump right in and talk with us. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show.
You can also email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also tweet out almost every week about our upcoming show, guest, and you can respond there with your questions at guardian_d_cast is our Twitter handle.
Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your questions at speakpipe.com/guardiandowncast. Remember, that's all one word. And we'll play it on the show for you guys.
SpeakPipe is honestly my favorite thing. But anyway, thank you for all you guys do, and toddles.
And later, Guardian. All right, it's that time of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Community Questions, where we answer questions from our community. And we have a couple speak pipes to start off with. And we have a question from good old Uncle Scumdeath.
Hello, Scumdeath here. A question for the show. Usually when I buy a new game, I go on to How Long to Beat sort of website and find out how long the game usually is. So it says, 10 hours to complete, 18 hours completionist if you do it 100%. But if a game takes 10 hours to complete, it doesn't for me. It takes about 20, 25 hours. Is this something you come across? Can you usually beat games in the time that they sort of recommend that you should be able to beat them in? I mean, Gatr doesn't have to answer this question because we know he only plays Destiny anyway, but, is this something, do you usually complete the games on time, in the specified time, or does it take you ages to complete them, like me? Anyway, love you guys. Bye.
Why all the hate tonight? Everybody's not.
It's not hate. It's the truth, bro.
It is.
You only play Destiny.
Yeah.
You play a little bit of Returnal, which I'm like thumbs up.
Yeah.
You only play Destiny.
Have you gone back to Returnal yet?
No. I've been prepping for Witch Queen. Once I got all my bounties prepped, I will be going back and playing it because I want to be fresh going into Destiny, But I have to admit, because I'm such a Destiny fanboy. So what can I say? All right.
It takes me much longer to play games. I usually go through them in. Like, how I usually play a game is I'll find one that I like. I'll probably play until like 3 or 4 a.m. Do that a couple more times and then be like moving on. It's pretty rare that I finish a game at this point.
How about you, Hazel?
I don't know. I've never looked at that, but I would say that I'm either on one in the spectrum or the other, where either one, I'm going to blow out that time frame if I love the game, or two, I'm going to, take way longer and probably not finish it.
Yeah, and my answer, Uncle Scumdeath, is sorry, it's not Destiny. Enough said. Okay.
That's your problem. Yeah.
Okay. I got to use my soundboard at least a little bit tonight. Okay. We have another question from a mystery caller. And let's see what she has to say.
There you go. Who's gonna beat those Bengals?
Yeah, she learned that. She learned that in school. It's who they think I'm gonna beat them Bengals.
You think the Bengals are gonna win this week, huh?
Tough
game, man.
It's gonna be tough for sure. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for the Bengals are due, man. I like Burrow.
It's not MMA.
Yeah. See, there's. All right. I'll record that for later. All right. Okay. Let's dive into some community questions here. I'll start here. I have one from iSoccerOG. This is for CamtheJellyman. Do you have a favorite moment of playing video games with Gatr? Similarly, Hazel and Gatr, did you play any video games with your parents growing up? And do you have any favorite moments from those days?
Probably playing like PlayStation 1 games when I was a really young kid.
With me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
At
remember
the
what
old
games?
house. Medieval.
Yeah. That was a fun game.
That's like probably the one that I remember the most. We would play. I think you played.
What's the one with the factory workers that were like
Oddworld?
Abe's Odyssey.
Abe's Odyssey.
Yep.
Yeah, Oddworld. Yeah, that was a fun game too. And we had our share of
Crash Bandicoot. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot. That was fun. Those are fun. I got to go back and play those again. Those are fun games. Those definitely bring back memories. And now PS5 has a version of Crash Bandicoot. I probably should download it. What about you, Hazel? Do you ever play with your parents?
I mentioned it before, but yeah, my mom was, almost instrumental in me getting a gaming system. Because she gave me the choice back in the day of either an Atari computer or a Nintendo.
Right. I remember that story.
So, and I think she kind of cheered a little bit when I went with the Nintendo. So
good move. Yeah. You said you wouldn't even be where you are today if you picked that computer. You may not have been.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. But besides that, I remember my mom, getting mad at my mom for playing Dr. Mario all the time. Cause that was her game.
I remember that game. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she was all into that. And then, she was also into, Super Mario World with me. And
yeah.
It was just fun times playing that with your mom. I don't know. I just never thought about my parents playing something like that.
Right.
My dad never was into that. So
see, everybody, is always blown away when I don't know about the Sega Master System or, all those fancy, Atari Jaguars and all these fancy systems. My parents were not. They were the farthest thing from video game enthusiasts.
Dude, those were out in like the 90s.
Yeah, but the age I was when those came out, I couldn't afford them anyway. But my parents were reluctant to even get me an Atari 2600 at the time. And so I might have sat down and played, or at least shown my dad some of the games I played, like Combat, basic games. And he'd watch me play Space Invaders, which was my all-time favorite game back in the day. But no, we really never gamed together. And, my dad he worked like crazy. Time he came home, he was exhausted. And so it was pretty much my mom and I during the day after I came home from school. And my mom just was never into video games. It was never her thing. So no, I really never had that opportunity to game with my parents. I'm so jealous of some of you out here, jealous, where their dads love video games, even to this day, and they still game. I'm jealous of that fact that my dad is not into that still.
But
so
they're younger.
Of course. That goes without saying, but my dad could have embraced the Atari world and, ColecoVision and television, and he could have embraced all that, but no, he never did. It was considered a kid's game back then. And I guess it wasn't as in favor as it is now, but I kind of wish my parents were into video games. That would have made, I probably would have even been more, that's probably the reason why I'm not so broad in what games I play, because I'm very genre specific, mainly shooters, because that's what I was raised on. That's what I grew up on. Cameron introduced me to, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And Cam, you remember that? I was totally hooked once I started understanding how the game worked.
Well, we used to have Time Crisis and stuff too, where we had
shooters with the guns.
We would set that up on the TV and stuff.
I still got the light gun. I still got that light gun in here. I don't know. I just can't get myself to throw it away. Some people are cringing right now. No, don't throw the light gun away. I don't have the system anymore to use it. But anyway, yeah, good question.
Why don't you have the system to use it anymore?
Because usually
It was a PlayStation 2 game, I think.
it was a PlayStation 2. My PlayStation 2 took a dump a long time ago, and it just wasn't worth trying to fix it. It wasn't economically feasible to fix a console that was already out of date. I'm sure I can find an emulator somewhere if I wanted to play those games again, like Time Crisis. But I used to play that game at the arcade all the time at the bowling alley. I love that game, and you had to kill stuff so quickly to extend the time. It was so much fun. But no, not anymore. Moving on. I have a question here from Hades. Since you're playing a Nightfall, I'll just keep going.
Cam can ask a question too.
Yeah, if you see one, Cam. I'm gonna ask this one first. Question for the guest. Give us an embarrassing story about Gatr. Mwahahaha. Okay, enough said. Moving on.
Yeah, my dad does this hilarious thing where,
oh God,
you know, he really likes to think that he's an expert on things.
What?
He really does, and sometimes he can look a little silly explaining things to someone who probably has a better grasp of it than him.
Really?
It's probably like when my dad comes to me and says, "Hey, I know I haven't exercised in 10 years consistently. Let me show you how to exercise."
You're making Hazel's night right now.
It makes me, rub my chin a little bit, being like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I gotta admit, I tend to talk and not do. Yeah, I gotta walk the walk, right? Good point.
Or just be like a little less speculative.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I'll take that on the chin. That's fair. All right. Who's got another question?
Oh, I got one for you guys.
Okay.
This one is also from Hades.
Okay.
What are your so this one's to Mr. Gatr. What are your two favorite and two least favorite of Hazel's new names? And then that, what do you think your two favorite and least favorite names were so far, Hazel?
He's saying that I need to go first.
Gatr has to go first,
so I don't steal or flip my answers, right? Okay. All right. We made a list, didn't we, Hazel, of all the names, the nicknames?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, because I'm into horticulture and plants, the name of the American hazelnut tree, and that was from Ronan Red Lion.
Ronan and his wife.
His wife. That was one of my favorites because when he first gave me that list, I was like, wait a minute, is that Latin? Is that a Latin description of a plant? He goes, yeah. It was called the Corylus americana.
Mm-hmm.
Good pick there. Okay, I get to pick two, right? I'm looking at the list here. I would have to say, I like Smell What the Haze is Cooking. It was from Ronan as well. Sorry, I'm not playing favorites, I swear. But I love that line in wrestling. So Smell What the Haze is Cooking. I like that one. Those are my two favorites. So now I don't have to steal Hazel's answers.
Okay, but what are your two least favorites as well? I think that was part of the question too.
The fuck Hazel one, it was okay. I won't say who said that one. And I guess
was a risen pervert now.
Yeah, and
he changed his name.
Oh, did he? And no, it was from someone else.
What?
And the one I did,
got a knack for names.
The one I did, which was Gatr spelled backwards, that failed miserably. It ended up saying R-tag, and I was like, oh god, I already put it out, so now I got to let it sit for the day. Those are probably my least favorites. I'm not creative when it comes to making names of stuff. So, those are mine.
Okay. So, first and foremost, Gator's side piece. That was one of my least favorites.
I bet it was. I think he even apologized when he that was Hades. I think that was his he apologized when he gave it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. But that one was my least favorite for one reason, and it wasn't the content of it.
Uh-huh.
It was the fact that it was spelled out as the GATR, like you normally do it.
Oh, right.
And I couldn't tell the difference between your shitty comments and mine.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
I was
right.
like, damn it. It's like, it's everywhere.
Oh, my God. Just Gatr everywhere in our Discord.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, this is not going to work.
Okay.
So that was one. And then I think, smell what the haze is cooking was definitely one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
And my other least favorite one, was entitled.
That was Mr. Nate Fu.
Yeah. Nate
I
Fu.
actually kind of like that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's all you, man. That's not me. I don't understand.
What?
Drafties was nice. The
Yes.
Hazel nutted. That
Mm-hmm.
was nice. That was nice.
Sounds like Hazel feels entitled to a good name.
I think he does.
Maybe. There we are.
Okay. Any more?
Shit's Broken was pretty funny.
I was going to pick that one too. There's so many good ones, man. There's so
Yeah.
many good ones here. Yeah. Yeah. Good names. I mean, that was fun, guys. That was fun. Hopefully, Hazel will lose the next bet and we'll get to do it all over again for a whole month. And
exactly.
I'm really worried. I'm really worried.
You lose the bet and then
That's going to be bad. Yeah, it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad month.
Oh God, I feel bad for you if you do.
God, they're just going to pour it on. Well, I mean, some of our patrons can already nickname me, but they've been very nice with their nicknames. So, okay. You said that one, Cam. So what else? What else we got?
Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, I'm running this with Go Hawks and soccer. And
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. So, Cam, there's another question for you here.
Mhm.
It is from Uncle Scumdeath. Question for Cam the Jellyman.
Oh, brother.
What do your dad's farts smell like?
It depends on how hard he pushes. Next question.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, the question was farts, not sharts.
No, I don't. There's no shirts here.
It's all art.
That's true.
But probably like coffee. Something gross.
I do drink a lot of coffee. That is true. I'm trying to find that question so I can make sure we don't repeat it. Let me see.
It was done yesterday at 3:43.
Oh, it's probably not pinned. I think we ran out of pens. Believe that crap already at 50 again. Unfreaking believable. I'll find it. Never mind. It's not pinned, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Let's see here. I'm watching our clock. Okay. This one's from Red Grackle. This is a good question. Question for the show. Bungie rolls out a new 1 to 2 hour weekly podcast hosted by a Destiny character with the main voice actor. Who would you want and why? You can include any character from Destiny 1 or Destiny 2, whether they're currently dead or alive in game. You don't have to answer this one, Cam.
Well, hey. Whoa.
Okay.
I have a very strong opinion on this.
Okay.
I remember one name, and it's like Zavala. So yeah, Zavala.
Yeah.
Lance Riddick is kind of cool. So.
He already contributes freely to the community. He's a real fan. He plays the game too.
Yeah. So he's a funny guy. He's on Eric Andre, I think.
Yeah, I love his stuff.
Back in the day.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Hazel? Who's going to do the podcast?
Oh, I don't know.
Isn't Peter Dinklage in this game?
He used to be. No, it's
psych.
Nolan North.
See ya, Swerve. See ya, Peter.
I would say Nolan North, but he's already doing his own podcast. I would say, I don't know, man. Nathan Fillion. I'd love to hear him do a podcast. Oh, he does one. He does one already too.
I think he's saying from or I think Red Grackle is saying from like the perspective of the Destiny character. So like, would it be the Huntress lady? Would it be the lady that comes around for holiday events?
Oh, Eva?
Sure. Yeah, Eva.
Grandma.
I'd like to hear Rahul.
Okay. He's going to be the bomb soon. He's going to be the most popular guy in the tower.
And still the most hated.
Probably. We'll probably want to push him off the edge of the tower when he doesn't offer us the right stuff or whatever materials. I like the Arcade 6 again.
Yeah. Cade would be hands down.
That's kind of a given with me because personality in a podcast means a lot to me. So it has to grip me right away. Okay. Let's do a few more here.
Hey, there's another one for Cam. Willbreaker's Wielder.
Uh-huh.
Let's be real here. Dad rating 1 out of 10.
Wow.
Willbreaker's Wielder. And so if like rate my dad out of 10?
Yeah.
Like what, like looks?
However,
my dad is a solid 7.5 when it comes to looks.
Okay, I'll take that.
In terms of like the quality of his character and the content of his character, he's a solid 10.
Oh,
there we go.
How about his opinions on video games?
Listen, don't get me started. I'll rate those like a 2 out of 10.
What?
Listen, it is.
Well,
it is what it is.
I was going to cash app you, but never mind now.
More coercing.
No, not at all, Your Honor.
You already owe me a payment for the Destiny 30 minutes or something like that. I feel like I should have been paid for that.
What's your hourly rate?
Well, I did buy dinner tonight.
Yeah.
We'll call it even.
Okay.
So you still owe me like maybe $20?
What? God, is that bad? Is that bad? All right.
Listen, Destiny per hour for me?
I have one from Sephiroth here. Welcome, Sephiroth. Good to hear from you, man. Question for the show. What, in your opinion, do you think makes a great guild in Destiny? Guild meaning, I'm sure, clan. What would you think would make a good clan in Destiny, Cam?
I think it's the same thing that makes a good guild or community in anything. Mm-hmm. You have dedicated members that want to contribute, either help to other people or like original content or, like with your, guild, like you will kind of like teach people the way to go through things. You'll like kind of walk them through these raids. Mm-hmm. But I think the big thing is like the chemistry between the people in the guild and that they can get along and kind of banter a bit. And like the contribution of content, questions, topics, conversations. Like it has to feel alive. If it doesn't feel alive, then it's just kind of like I guess like a few people that go on raids generally together. And for like a good clan, I feel like you want to have some variety. You want to have a bunch of people like new, experienced, all that kind of stuff. And yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Hazel?
Yeah, I think that he pretty much nailed it. I mean, it's, we should be, I think that the hallmarks of a good clan or good guild are, just that they should be, you should have the ability to, to play and learn and be available to help. And hopefully everything that we're already doing.
Right.
But if there's something that, you guys would, or ladies would like to see us do, then let us know. And we'll be happy to, look at it and find out.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't rule with an iron fist. We're open to suggestion, definitely. And it's, I would say the biggest thing that just kind of brings a tear to my eye is when someone new joins the clan and I don't have to be the one to welcome them. There's 3 or 4 people jumping right on it, taking care of it, got my back, making sure they're welcome, tell them where to go for the Discord, just making sure that they're part of the atmosphere and part of the community as a whole. And that it's nice when others want the community to succeed other than the person who or persons who started it. So I love the fact that, people are just taking it upon themselves to make the experience better for everyone. Yeah, I think that's what makes it just like Cameron nailed it, because people wanting to dedicate their time to making it a better environment, making it a better place to hang out. That's it for me. I mean, that right there is just a bonus. So, okay. Good question. I'm going to ask these. I know I just asked them. There's 2 questions here. It's a 2-parter and it takes care of 2 questions here. Red Grackle again says, question for the show, 100 games of Dares of Eternity or 100 games of Gambit? And the Scarlet KM follows up and says, are you running them with randoms or clanmates and friends? I think we know Cameron's answer.
Yeah, I'm going to run 100 games of Dares of Eternities with randoms.
Because it worked out so well before.
I had such a great time. I'm making $40 an hour doing it too. Man, what a deal.
Whatever. Okay. Hazel?
Neither.
You're done, right?
Yeah, I don't have to do any more dares, and I damn sure I'm not. I did help out Hammer Crasher on, I think, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing is I'll help people, but I'm not going to do 100 games. Gambit? Fuck no. So yeah, that's,
okay.
If you had to play one with your friends, which do you think would do less damage to the relationship and wear less on you guys as a group?
For me,
probably Dares.
For me, the answer is always Gambit, because I already have we did have a Wednesday night Gambit group that played every week, and we're taking a break now because it's a dead part of the season, but we've already all got our seals. But, it's always Gambit for me because it's a fun game. And from what I hear, they're going to be improving Gambit going into the next season. They haven't shared it yet. They've hinted that they're going to talk about it. So I'm really curious what they're going to do with Gambit. I hope they do a lot to change it. But Dares of Eternity, I think I've got 12 runs now. And I think I said 8 last week. I've run 4 more runs. And that was only to get my powerful or whatever, pinnacle, whatever. I cannot get motivated to play this game. I just cannot get motivated to play it. It's just the mere number that you have to play to get these rewards. I'm sure I'm going to do it anyway. But when I think about doing it, I just think about doing something else. Really, be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, just get your bounties and then you can go in.
Well, I do that, but the bounties get done a lot faster than the runs. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. So good question. Okay, Hazel, why don't we, what do you think? One more each of us? Grab one?
Sure.
That should give us some time.
Yep.
Out of the 5 senses, this is from Will Breaker's Wielder. Mm-hmm. Out of the 5 senses, which would your wife want you to lose the most? I'll pass it off to either of you. And, I'll give you a take on what my fiance would want me to lose the most.
You know what my answer is going to be, Cam. It would be her sense of hearing, because this woman hears anything.
No, it's what she wants you to lose the most.
Oh, damn. Senses. Ugh. Jeez. Probably my sense of smell. That way I wouldn't overeat, because I love food, man. I love to eat. And she'll look at me sometimes and go, "You ate all that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was hungry." Yeah, that's my answer. Hazel?
It's not a sense, but probably my memory.
Oh, well, if I could have used that, I would have used it. But anyway,
It's a meta sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
All right. Sure. Okay.
I'd say like my sense of taste. Just so every time Strone cooks up a bomb meal, no matter what, I'm gonna be enjoying it. No matter what.
You're saying she can't cook?
No. I'm saying she can, and when you can't taste anything, everything's gonna bring a smile to your face.
All right.
So
well navigated.
that's anything to put a smile on my wife or future wife's face.
Okay. All right. That was Cam's. You want him to take it out, or you want me to, Hazel?
Yeah, he can.
Okay. Well, you got the next one then.
I'll chill out. So Mrs. Hazelnut.
Oh, that's
I think
right. We missed her.
we may know her.
Yeah, I think we might know her.
Yes, we did it. Fucking get fucking fucked. Yes.
Jeez.
Woohoo!
I don't know how you
Sorry,
can play
we've
it.
been trying this like one or two
I don't know how you can do that while
times a night.
All right.
Oh, is there an emote that's like now I can sleep?
Jeez. See, I just can't get enthused.
Holy
to play.
hell! I just got like 70 things.
Nice. Was that a
Actually, I found a really good question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
It's from Slippery Snake. It's
Okay.
thoughts. Only deep, life-defining answers, please.
Thoughts.
Thoughts. Only deep, defining answers.
Okay, that's a fair question, I guess.
Okay. I like that. Okay, Gatr, thoughts?
Life-defining answers. Okay, this is a thought that I have every week, and it is: everyone needs to take 5 minutes a day, stop what you're doing, go outside, and just look up. Look up at the sky, look up at the trees, feel the wind blowing through your face, and watch the leaves blow around. Take in what Mother Nature gives you, and just rest your mind for just 5 minutes. It makes all the difference versus looking at screens all day. It's so easy to do that. So that's my thoughts. There's deep life-defining answers. Hazel?
Wow.
Touch grass.
What?
Touch grass. That's what you're saying. You're saying go touch
Yeah,
some grass, you
basically-
freaking nerds.
Basically touch grass. Yeah, kinda. But a little of the twist. Okay. That's my answer.
Okay. My thought. Soccer just asked, did I shout on the podcast? And I was like, I may have.
Oh, I'm sure I'll tape it for later.
Oh wow, I got an adept hothead and hung jury. Okay.
I'm sure I'd like. Hothead, I can care less. Launcher's just.
Yeah. It would have been, I already have one, a clown cartridge, so I'm good there.
Yeah.
So my thought every time I wake up and get ready to go into work, and that is this where I'm meant to be?
Okay. Solid thought.
And it's, just that thought of, is there something more out there that I should be doing, can be doing? Am I living up to my potential?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Cam, lay it on us.
So I talked about this a little bit at the start. Am I living up to my potential? Absolutely not. And I think a lot of that is due to comforts. And I think a lot of that is due to kind of like the stagnation in our lives that COVID has kind of brought about. So I think for me, the most important thing that I'm coming to realize is, life's short. Take advantage of opportunities when you have the opportunity, and spend time, which is your resource. It'll be the most important resource you have is your time and how you spend it. And so spending time doing things that make you feel satisfied and accomplished and, give you purpose. I think those are things to pursue and really try to dedicate your time to. Yeah, I think following your passions and spending time wisely is something that I'm thinking about a lot more lately, and something that's kind of driving the direction of my life.
Okay, good answer.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah.
Pretty mature response, actually.
The one from Mrs. Hazelnut, real quick here.
Yeah,
I didn't ask
absolutely.
that.
Sorry. Well,
Sorry.
I was going to...
I ended up
Yeah.
winning.
That's fine.
You know.
I'll tell Mrs. Hazelnut.
So, yeah. I'm sure she'll hear. And
I'll clean it up. I'll clean it up.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Let it ride.
No, I'm fine.
So, okay. Are you looking forward to Hazel and I playing Destiny together?
Is this to me or to you?
Yes.
To you.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Because I think having a non-jaded perspective,
Yeah.
especially in a community that is so Destiny centric, I think having a non-jaded perspective is going to be really important, especially after like the cynicism and I guess jadedness I brought when it came to Destiny on this podcast.
Well, I mean, but it's all founded. I mean, it's not like you're just like hating on it because it's Destiny. You know?
It doesn't drive excitement, I guess, when I'm coming on here and being like, this is how I honestly feel about the game. Whereas if Miss Hazelnut has a fantastic time and, you know, it shares those thoughts, I think that's something that could excite the Guardian Downcast server. And, yeah, I think that non-jaded approach is going to be really important.
I've got a question for Hazel about this. Has your wife ever played a first-person shooter?
No.
See, here's the thing. My wife hasn't either. Go ahead.
Yeah. Fun fact though. I have given her the controller before and like, hey, like, you know, and I mean, she's played other games, but, I was watching her one time. I gave her the controller and took the dog out and came back. I was like, hey, all you have to do is stand here and just shoot here.
Good training.
And I did. What?
That's good training. No, it is.
Well, no, I mean, it wasn't even that. I was trying to like farm something.
Oh, I got you.
So yeah, I just was like, here, just aim here, shoot. This is the buttons and things like that. And I came back in. She was staring at the ground, shooting at the ground.
That's what I was.
I'm like, huh.
They don't.
Okay.
I brought Mrs. Gatr into Destiny 1 a long time ago and was just trying to see if lightning would strike, you know, that she would see the game and loved how it plays and stuff. She plays Candy Crush and Bejeweled, puzzle games like Tetris or Words with Friends. She plays a lot of brainy games. And when it comes to actual physical movement in a game, she was doing the same thing, Hazel. She was shooting at the ground and she was like, I can't get my gun up. The gun going. I'm like, don't worry. You'll just keep playing around with it. You'll figure it out. And I would give her a little, I would just recommend before going into Witch Queen with her, you might want to just practice a little bit, like in a patrol zone or something, just to get her basics down.
Well, I mean, I'm going to throw her in.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I'm planning on doing because I want her to go in with the New Light experience.
Okay. I just think she would enjoy it a little bit better if she had the mechanic down. I
understand. I do. I mean, I might maybe let her play on my character for a while.
Right.
That way, because I want her to see all the new stuff.
Oh,
I want her to
absolutely
to get a feel for it and just kind of get immersed in it.
Sure. I kind of love that they're bringing all the light levels up, and a part of me doesn't. But
fuck that.
We talked about that. We talked about that in the TWAB. Well, I'm not going to rehash it, but
didn't I talk about this 2 years ago? Where the numbers just get inflated and inflated and inflated to the point where they're just meaningless and they're just numbers. Yeah. And it's all just relative to other numbers.
We've had that argument.
Like why set it to 1100 when you can just set it to 100?
This has been discussed.
Here's the thing though. But here's the thing that's different this time is the fact that they're negating the entire grind that everyone has put in this season.
Seems like a good time to start it off fresh. Number crunch it a little bit.
Well, that's what we're hoping.
Yeah, lower the number back down, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just pointless
It's an
numbers
arbitrary number
to make your brain go, ooh, that's 1,100, 1,200, wow.
Yeah.
As opposed to 100 versus 120. Like, it makes sense as to why they did it, because they do the same thing with World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
But World of Warcraft reached a point, too, where they had to do that because it gets to a point where the numbers are just nonsense. I don't think it'll really be like that with Destiny, especially with how they like scale damage and everything is pretty close together in terms of like light levels and stuff. But I don't know. It just seems completely arbitrary.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. I mean, it does feel that way, but it still doesn't stop me from going like, oh, I got to get to 1550.
Oh yeah, no, and it gives you some goals, and big number make brain feel good.
Yeah, except for one thing is that I am not going to hit Pinnacle Cap, and I don't give a shit about it next season or the seasons after.
It kind of
is that top light?
Purpose. Yeah, it's the top light.
Yeah, because they boned everybody that got the top light.
I don't think they're going to do that until the next major expansion, Lightfall. I don't think they'll do it again. Nah,
they screwed us.
We went over this. So Well, I'm going to take us out with our patron, our fist bump patron. This is Mr. Sharp Valor. He has a two-parter here. It's can you share a time you faked it till you made it, or failed terribly in the process? That's his part one question. Cam?
Yeah, MMA. You go there and you get completely crushed. I mean, same thing with jiu-jitsu. You go there and you get completely crushed against people that have been there for longer. And you just keep on going, you keep on going, and you keep on going. And eventually those skills kind of assimilate themselves into you, and you pick stuff up over and over and over and over and over, and then you get better and better. And then you pretty much just fake it till you make it. Except there's not really a lot of faking in it because you just get like choked out and beaten up. Okay. Oh, and then you can fail miserably too. That's always an option as well.
Yeah.
That's great.
What about you, Hazel? Fake it till you make it.
So, with this, my answer has to be when I got my first job working security, and I was painfully shy and didn't want to talk to anybody. And my first event was a concert, and I was working the door.
Oh no!
You can't be shy, and that's
no. You have to turn it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And from then on, it became like, okay, well, you know what? Let's do this. Can't be shy here. I still remember like this one woman. I had to like pat down everyone, and this woman was not wearing much.
Oh no!
And that's being honest when I say that.
Uh-oh.
And her boyfriend was with her, and her boyfriend was bigger than me. So he's easily like 6'6", something like that. Massive, like only like 325 pounds, something like that.
Oof.
And she's like, "Are you really going to pat me down in front of him?" And I looked at him and I was just like, I kind of gave him a shrug, like, I got to. And he's like, all right. And he looked at her and he's like, well, make it fun for him. And she started dancing while I was doing it. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I'm just like, yeah.
My answer's nothing like that. It's when I started raiding. You ever been in a raid you know nothing about, and you know everyone else in your other five players know how to do, and they're all running the encounters at bullet speed, and you're just like, where do I go? But you don't want to say that, so you kind of just wander and meander around, and all of a sudden you get called out. Gatr, what the hell are you doing, man? You're supposed to be on the plate. Oh, yeah, I thought you were, I thought there was, dude, I did that for so long. And then once you run enough raids, you become, part of the gang. So that happened a lot when I first started playing Destiny. I wasn't big into raiding at first, and you know the ones that are faking it till they make it because they're quiet as a mouse. And when you're saying, okay, who's covering this? Who's covering this? Who's covering this? if there's a person left that hasn't said anything, they probably are faking it till they make it. Just from experience. That's all I'm saying. Sharp has a follow-up. What's that?
That story made me so sad.
Why?
Because, okay, PSA to anybody who wants to raid and doesn't and things like that. Just say that, hey, I've never done a raid before. I've never done this one before. Can you teach me?
Oh, wait a minute.
Don't fake it till you make it.
Wait a minute. I must say that this was an LFG group. If you're in a clan raid, like with us, it's totally different. You just say it. Like Hazel says, guys, never run it before. Well, tonight you're going to learn. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure you can say that for most LFG groups.
I don't know. Not back in the day, man. It was very hardcore. LFGs were off site. It was a totally different scene back then. And not only did you not have to have you had to have Galahorn, but there were other things. If you did, people just didn't, in the early days of LFG, I know I'm being general here. People weren't as patient and raid sherping wasn't as big a thing as it is now.
What are you talking about?
It wasn't. At least not the groups I was in. The groups I was in, it was so freaking hardcore. And maybe I should have just left and went to another group. But I had so many situations where I LFG'd in a raid and didn't maybe had one run in, but I don't remember a lot of the stuff I did. And I've gotten booted before, dude. People would boot me out of the party and just get the next person in line. It was brutal back in the day when LFG was first a thing.
No, I don't know about you, but I didn't have that experience at all.
See, I did. That's what turned me off on raiding for a long time. And then when I started getting with clans and the clans were like, oh, well, you need to learn this. You need to learn how to do it. Like, okay, I'll give you for instance. I have never learned the operator role playing Deepstone Crypt. I would just go kill the ads because I didn't want to slow people down. And Kingsley Mack, of all people, says, well, I think tonight you need to learn it, right? You've run it like 12 times and you never run this role. I think it's time you run the role. And God bless him. Everyone was very patient and waited for me. And a lot of the players, I want to say Fiery Pink Yoda was there too. And he was telling me where all the pads were and showing me exactly what I needed to do.
Yeah. I was there for that too. That was like this last time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt like I was much more valuable this time around because I knew that mechanic finally, but I had never really volunteered to do it because of my past experiences raiding. I just didn't want to slow people down. And,
not a reason.
I know that's my cross to bear, but I'm just being honest. That was my past history in raiding, and maybe why the reason is I don't raid as often. That's a lame excuse. I'm just going to call that bullshit right now.
You got trauma.
I do.
No, that's not it at all. He's got the exotic, so he doesn't have to.
Yeah. That's it. No, I actually, especially if I know someone's in a raid and they've never run it before, that entices me to definitely run the raid now because I want them to enjoy what I didn't enjoy. And there's a lot of players out there, even people in our own community who have never run a raid. And it's just sad. They're really missing a major piece of content in this game, and it will totally change their mind once they run one. So don't be afraid, guys. Get in there, jump in these 100.io bot we have in our Discord. We're sharing with other Discords. If you see the chance and you have the time to usually just plan on 2 hours, like going to see a movie, just plan on 2 hours to run a raid. And I'm telling you, our community is so welcoming. We will run you through a raid. Join the Discord and get in there and start enjoying the game. You don't have to be alone at this.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't want to join our clan, just friend us. I mean, and then they
we have people in our community that are in other clans. They don't have to be in our clan. I don't think we have room, but I mean, we have maybe a couple spots, but we have an overflow
secondary
clan. We do. We have an overflow clan. It's called Guardian Downcast Pod. It's pretty much the same name. It just says pod at the end. But so join up. And if there's no room in our first clan, let us know. We'll send you an invite to the overflow clan. We've got two clans now. So, okay. Sharp follows up and says, after that serious point, have you ever stuck your face in the freezer to cool down during the summer or turn on the oven to warm up in the winter? This is Florida to a T. We do not like extremes. And in the summer, I will definitely stick my head in the freezer. And in the winter, I will actually turn on a burner and put my hands above it to warm up my hands because my hands get cold real easy. I don't understand why. It's just my hands get cold. What about you guys?
It's really cold in Florida. It's really hard.
It is. It's 55 right now. That's chilly. Drafty will tell you. All right. What about you guys?
I've been at both extremes. So, when AC goes out in the middle of winter or your heater goes out, you're going to be using your oven probably at least, like when you're, downstairs. Over here, I mean, like, I'm not going to, why would I stick my head in the freezer if the freezer's clearly indoors already? Is it really that hot in my house? Am I coming outside or am I coming from outside where I'm sweating? I'm like, I gotta ice my head.
No, you're outside working in the yard and you're just like drenched. You're just you're overwhelmed by the
shower.
Heat. Well, I don't
want to get sweat in the freezer, you know.
Well, so it'll dry pretty quick.
I wouldn't put my head in the freezer. I would absolutely turn on the oven to make things hotter.
Yeah, I think I would too. If our heat went out or something went out, yeah. Hazel, what about you, man?
Have I ever put my head in a freezer? Yeah.
Okay. Simple question. Simple answer.
I mean, there was a reason for it, but, right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I feel like I should give more, but
it was a light question anyway. That's a good place to end
how many times approximately have you put your head in the freezer in the last 5 years?
Oh, several times.
And could you detail the experiences?
I mean, I would say less. I mean, not as much now. It was more when I was dating.
So, sometimes you gotta take a chill pill or something.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Thanks for throwing those questions our way.
Nice segue, Gatr.
I like that. You like that? Just cut it right off, right at the neck. Thank you, everyone, for sending those questions in. We love you guys for sending questions in every week, and don't stop.
Yes, we do.
We'll keep penning them. If we run out of space, we'll just keep penning them more. So keep sending them our way. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Fudd, take us out.
Guardian Downcast. Guardian Downcast. Yeah, Guardian Downcast. This is an intro. Guardian Downcast. Guardian. Not copyright. Guardian Downcast.
Thank you, Mr. Fudd. Still 55. Clear skies out. This is the final segment of our show, folks. This is where we pick our songs for what?
It's 10. It's 10 here. We dropped 3 degrees.
Oh, you're still falling.
Yeah. Yeah. So we dropped 4 degrees since the start of this
It's
episode.
Still falling? No, we've bottomed out. I think we bottomed out. We'll see. We'll see. We got a cold front moving through. This is the final segment of our show. This is where we like to pick our songs for our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist. Just a little sample of what the two of us and our guest Cam here like to listen to. And we invite you to listen to it as well. Just search for Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify and now iTunes. I'll post links in our show notes if you want to follow along and see if there's songs you want to add to your own collection. We now have 904 songs. Yeah, it's hard to say. Representing all of us and all of our past guests. And like I've mentioned in several shows before, this is kind of our musical history of our show since 2019 in July. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's start with you, Cam. What'd you pick tonight, man?
I picked 2 songs.
All right, enough said.
One is Good Morning Captain by Slint. It's a little dadcore stuff.
I don't know what that means. What is dadcore?
It's for dads with taste.
Okay.
It's a little arty. are a little artsy, a little minimalist, a little haunting.
Okay.
Very nice guitar and drums. Really good song.
Okay.
Panic by Forest Swords was my other one. And I just don't really know a song that sounds similar to it.
Okay.
I don't even really know like what genre it would really go under.
Well,
but it may be like end of the world music.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's heavy.
Sounds upbeat.
Oh, I mean, hey, you press that preview and you're going to be like, dang, what kind of portal did I just enter into?
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah. Someone may like it. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Thanks for that. Hazel, what do you got, man?
Okay. So, in honor of Meatloaf's passing today, I'm adding 2 songs. One of them is You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth. And this is like the craziest shit in the beginning of a song you'll ever hear. And then it becomes like a power ballad. And it's just all over the place. Just like, a lot of his music is like an odyssey that you go on. It's just like sit back, and just go on a ride. That's basically Meatloaf's music.
Yeah.
And then, the next song I added is This Is Your Life, by the Dust Brothers. And this is from the Fight Club soundtrack, which Meatloaf was in.
That's right.
And, yeah.
Oh, I didn't tie that in. Just telling right now. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I also honored Meatloaf tonight. His name was actually Marvin Lee Aday. He was born in Dallas, Texas. He was known for his wide-ranging voice, and he loves doing theatrical live shows. This is a fun fact I did not know about this man. His first 3 albums are considered a trilogy, right? He has sold over 65 million copies worldwide today. And over 40 years later, his very first album, Bat Outta Hell, still sells 200,000 copies a year, which makes it one of the best-selling albums ever. That is amazing. He's been in over 50 films and television shows over his career. He actually played the part of Eddie in the Rocky Horror Picture Show in 1975. And like I said, he did die this week at the age of 74 with his wife by his side. So, thinking back at a favorite song from him, this song, I was looking over all the songs in his top hits, and this is the one I used to listen to as a kid. It's from his very first album, Bat Outta Hell, and the song I chose was 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad. It's just something about this song that just kind of says, it's all right, man. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And like I said, he will be missed. And okay, I changed my song choice tonight for my second song because I wanted to give Cam some perspective here. I chose a song that I was listening to at his age, at 24. And this is actually the age I got married to my now wife. This is representing Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. This 1988 alt-rock band was my go-to album back in these days. I wore this CD out. I probably listened to it hundreds of times, but more importantly, I remember working with my dad and my brother in his construction business, and we jammed to this group's music all day while burning up in that hot sun on those summer days in Florida. Truly, truly brings me back, and such great memories. When I hear this song, it just brings me right back to that point. The lead singer had a very different bass baritone voice that kind of stood out from other alt-rock music back then. And 93 was a big year for this band as they broke out from their Canadian night spots where they started and into the international scene and especially the United States. The song is from this very great album, which, by the way, every song on this album is gold. It's that good. It's called God Shuffled His Feet. And the song I chose is the very title song of the same name, God Shuffled His Feet. And I am definitely going to be adding another song from this band in the future. But so many songs in this album are worthy. And that's Crash Test Dummies. Great, great band. I really would. And they're actually, I was doing some research on them. They actually are reunited and they're touring now. So, I don't know. They
Better hop on that.
They might come to your town. Never know. Great sound, man. It was such a unique sound back in the day.
It was back in the day.
It was music. It was just,
I don't view the 90s as back in the day, but
well, I mean, to some people it is. Anyway.
Wait, you said that's given me perspective?
Yeah, that's the music I was listening to when I was 24.
The music I was listening to when I was 24 was Good Morning Captain by Slint.
Yeah, we got that. We got that. Couple announcements here.
I have that song stuck in my head now.
Yeah. Well, this one's even better.
Wait.
This one's even better.
What year did that come out in?
1993. God shuffled his feet.
1983?
In 93. Okay. God shuffled his feet.
Okay, so the Slint record Spiderland, which that comes from, is 1991. So, Dad, I think I'm giving you a little bit.
You
of
give me
culture.
perspective.
Whoa!
What?
Yeah,
what?
I think I'm introducing some things to you.
Wow, you're growing musically. I like it.
Bruh.
Wow.
I was in high school listening to like French 40s music. Like, don't even start with me.
Okay, fine. I had
you must follow after your wife.
No, not really. I kind of, for the whole family, I kind of just blazed my own trail.
Oh, nice.
Kind of just, lead by example. Perfect role model. Got a lot of things going for me.
Mm-hmm. Before we go tonight, a few announcements. We did get an email this week, and I felt I needed to read it out. It is from Asking for Trouble. He says,
"Are we getting like did our our brothers, sisters, uncle's father die? Was he a prince?"
No, not a Nigerian prince. No, it was he just was commenting on the show. He says, he said, love the show, but seriously try out using sword in PvE with a massive guard mod. I'm sorry, with the passive guard mod on. The class item mod. It is a game changer. If you have either Hero of Ages or Solar Scar with chain reaction or Tireless Blade or Relentless Strikes, it's a god weapon. Also, add the recuperation mod on the legs for health on picking up an orb of power. That combo works well in Master Vault of Glass, in Ad Clear encounters, and in Gambit. I'll try that out. Asking for Trouble. Thank you for that email, man.
He's really not going to try it out.
No, I am.
But
I'm going to try it out.
I'm definitely going to try it out. I like swords. I do like swords. I just never thought to use them in Vault of Glass. I'll have to try that.
Oh man. Yeah, I use swords. I have a Hero of the Ages with One for All and Relentless Strike. It is nasty. So yeah, I've yet to put passive guard on it, but I will definitely do that because I take that sword everywhere with me.
Really? Okay. I've got one of them, but I haven't run the dungeon enough times to get more rolls, but I'll try. Just want to remind everybody that Hazel and I have our bet, our new wager before Witch Queen, and that is the Someone Is Gonna Die wager. Hazel's guess is Marasov. My guess is Osiris. And whoever loses this bet will have the good old nickname challenge again, where people can nickname us for a whole month, whoever ends up losing. Now, if someone else dies, then it's a wash. Then we'll have to figure out something for Witch Queen. But it's just a little fun, something we're trying. And since Hazel lost the last bet, I'm trying to give him another shot here. So
I'm thinking if no one dies, both of you guys change your name.
No, I don't know.
Because you both didn't call it.
Yeah.
At that point.
Ooh.
I'll take it under advisement. I'll take it under advisement, which means nah. I just wanted to give a shout out. The Patreons have been blowing up. We're really blown away, guys, by all the new patrons we've gotten. I mean, we've only been active for 2 weeks, and we have some new patrons I want to call out this week. It would be Mr. Mile High Magi, Golden God, and All Thumbs. We thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for supporting our show. These monies and this support goes right back into our community. Mainly our hosting fees are not inexpensive because our files are so large because of sound quality and let's face it, our shows are not the shortest shows in the world. yeah, it adds up. It adds up. And, you know, as we're trying to give back to our community for you helping us, our fist bump patrons, affectionately call it, has nicknaming powers for me. And, I think Arisen Phoenix called me Destiny Online's new engine this week. And the one that's currently active is Sharp Valor's nicknamed me Hickory Smoked Gatr. Like I said, we appreciate everything you guys do. And we hope that, the tiers are kind of fun. So check that out. If you do want to support us, it is, patreon.com/support Guardian Downcast. And, take a look, see if there's something you'd be interested in. And, yeah, we do have a special right now going on where if you join before the end of the month, we are putting out a special Founders Day decal or a Founders decal for our founding members of our Patreon. And that was good until January 31st. We're going to extend it. We're actually going to extend this deal until Witch Queen actually arrives on 2/22/22. So let's roll, guys. Keep in mind that if you do want these decals, we do need a mailing address to be able to send them to you. So keep that in mind when you do sign up. We will need that information from you. So thank you again, guys. Hazel, I think you had some announcements to make.
Yeah. So, Scrims is live and well. We actually were joined this past week by Fluffy Fingers MD.
Yes. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we went with a 5v5 group. So yeah, it was fun.
What did we end up playing the last game? 5v5. It was it survival?
Yeah.
That was
survival.
Fun. That was 5v5 nuts. Survival. That was fun.
Yeah, exactly. Fun. Except for the fact that like half of us or more than half of us forgot we were playing survival and we just went
dying right away.
Yeah. So
that was funny. That was funny.
Yep.
Oh man.
So, but yeah, so Scrims are live and well. Those are going to alternate, Monday or Wednesday night, basically for the foreseeable future up until Witch Queen. And then Witch Queen will have to, figure out what we're going to do exactly from there.
Yeah.
But, the other night, so if Scrims are Monday night, that Wednesday night of that week, we're going to be doing raid night for the clan.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, yeah, come on. And, if you're in the clan, then, let's go ahead. You can also be in I think the secondary clan as well, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, just come on and, maybe we'll get you the Vex, the Eyes, the 1K, probably not Divinity just because, we need some more experience when it comes to that, but, we can definitely set something up for you if you want a Divinity run.
Garden Raid's hard. I still want to run more gardens. I love the weapons from Garden Raid.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
Yeah, I think we're due. It's time to dip our toe. Just start getting experience.
But I think some people still want Eyes and 1K though. And I think that's more important.
I'd like to run some, I haven't run many of those raids either. So I'd like to run some more of those.
Yeah, but you know what though? It ultimately comes down to what anybody else wants to do. Because Gatr and our opinions don't matter.
That does mean nothing. It's all up to you guys. When we put the group together, it's majority vote. So, and our votes don't count. So
exactly. There we go.
All right.
And done.
Thank you, Hazel. That's a wrap, guys. Another episode in our collection. For our listeners out there, we have 130 other episodes with interviews from gamers all over the community. So take a look at those, especially if you're just finding out about us. Check us out. Cam, thanks, bud. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It's fun.
Had a good time.
Yeah, thank you.
Where can people find you if they would like to?
Leave me alone. Don't find me.
Fair enough.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I had a great time.
Smart ass. All right. Okay. He's CamtheJellyman in our Discord, just so you know. You can harass him all you like. Yep. Thanks again, bud.
Yeah, and don't friend me on Steam. I will not accept you. Do not friend me on Steam. I'm warning you.
I see that reverse psychology. Okay.
No. Ask the people that have tried. They don't exist to me anymore.
Wow. That's harsh.
They don't exist.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Hazel, where can people find you, sir?
I can be found anywhere and everywhere at Hazel NT.
That was another nickname I loved. Anywhere and everywhere. You can contact me via Twitter at Todd the Gatr. That's TODD the Gatr, Gatr, all one word. You can also find me on Steam and PS5 as Gatr, Gatr, all caps, and don't forget those underscores. And I'm on YouTube, spelled the same way, or Gatr-Guardian Downcast, where we actually post our episodes every week. If you want to listen to them on the YouTube platform, they're there for you to listen to. Just another option. We're on Instagram. We're on all the places. Just go to guardiandowncast.com and all of our details are right there, including all of our episodes, all 130 of them. So you can listen to any of them you like. If you want to hear an interview on one of our past guests, dip right in. It's a lot of fun. All right. We can't go without a Scumdeath's Corner. And I'm curious. I have not listened to this one tonight. So here we go. I'm just going to hit play. We'll see what happens.
Hello, and welcome to Scumdeath's Corner. Last week, I offered a challenge for people to send me their own Scumdeath's Corners. But I've just listened back to my Scumdeath's Corner from last week, and I dished out the wrong email. The actual email is scumdeath, SCUMDEATH, at hotmail.co.uk. I sent scumdeath.co.uk. I think I was a little bit excited. I was walking home from band practice and we had written a new song, so excitement was high. So yeah, I'm throwing this challenge down again. I know Sweaty Spooks, he's right into it, but he's probably thinks, what the fuck? It's not sending. I trust him. So yeah, I'm walking home from band practice now. Send your Scumdeath's Corners, personal Scumdeath Corners, to scumdeath at hotmail.co.uk. I love you all. I've got a big hill to walk now, and I'm going to jump on Destiny and cook a pizza. Love your job. Goodbye. Love you all. Stay safe. Bye.
I love this man. I will, I tell you what I'll do, Uncle Scumdeath. You send me that email, buddy, and I'll put it in our show notes. We'll call it the Scumdeaths Challenge.
He did send it to you. He just spelled it out for you twice.
I know. I'll put it in a link so people can just click it and send it. Make it a lot easier. So, hey, everyone. Continue to be safe out there. And more importantly, hey, take care of one another.
The path to victory is long, but there's always hope. Fight!
Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
Get toddled.
Godspeed, Guardian.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, definitely some good practices that like I'd recommend just are not going through my head at all. Like, don't spend 8 minutes on like a side tangent to this question. You don't need to go like that in depth about it.
Well, but that's the thing though, is that it's weird. I mean, we had one episode where Gatr and myself and another guy, we talked about tools. And we got like the weirdest responses from people going like, oh yeah, here's some of my tools. And it's like, oh, okay, that's weird. So, I mean, I know that a lot of our community likes MMA. So, I mean, this is going to, they're going to like hear what you said and it's going to identify with them. It's not going to hit.
Yeah, they're going to resonate.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to hit everybody, but at least it's going to, those people that are in the know and that care about it are going to be like, oh, okay. So yeah, I wanted to name drop Hoist Gracie because that's who got me like into like wanting to do martial arts.
So I think I'm actually training at the only Hoist Gracie affiliate gym.
Oh shit!
The area.
Yeah, when I was watching MMA back in the day, it was Hoist Gracie and Ken Shamrock. Those were the two. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was like UFC, like probably like 1 and 2 and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's called 6 Levels. It's a Gracie affiliate.
Nice.
But like they've had Hoist over at the gym and stuff a few times, which is always, well, I think Florida has so much, like jiu-jitsu and stuff going on because I think a lot of Brazilians move here. And so like there are a lot of extremely high level jiu-jitsu practitioners in like Miami and down like the south of Florida. Like the amount of like skill and talent in Florida is insane. Add a little Minnesota man, add a little Florida man, you got Jellyman.